Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of the X Button, Season 5, Episode 31. I am your host, Alejandro. With me, it's a cadre of a group here, including my red-bearded sensation, Joe.
Joe LaRussa, everybody, how you doing? Good to be here with you all. 3 weeks in a row this time. A little pushing for my appearances, but always happy
Yes.
to chat games and annoy Alex. You know how it
Yes,
goes.
yes, your break is coming real soon for you. And also joining me, the Hat Master, Rick Davis.
Hello, big day. Shaw. That's all I can
Yes.
say.
And as we've been teasing briefly, and we gave a little bit of a wink, wink, nod, nod last week, our very special guest, the ninja and the protector of the Iron Realm, the dependable Lord Cognito from the Iron Lords podcast, and a defining Duke. Lord Cognito, welcome.
Shadow man, it's a pleasure to be in the realm of the X button.
Yes, exactly.
Salute, man. Yeah, long overdue. We've been talking about this for a while, and
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. Excited, man. All of you
Mhm.
individually, and super cool guys, super pleasurable, passionate about games, and I really appreciate your patience here because I'm excited to talk about games, and we got a lot of things to talk about. A
Oh
lot of
yeah,
things
Oh
it
going
yeah.
was
on.
like we lined up because I remember it was like early June. I told you it was like, yeah, Joe's gonna reach out to you. Hopefully we can get you. 2 months later, we're here, and we lined up for
Yes.
the next big like week in like news and stuff like that. So it all worked out perfectly. And you're getting close to going to TGS too, right?
Yes. And some announcements may be happening based on what the rumors are
Ooh.
saying
Yes.
that may line up, making it a more amazing trip from what
Oh
I'm
man.
seeing. So, we're
Wow.
excited. We're
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like it was lovely getting to meet you, the Iron Lords, over at SGF after being a big fan, like listening to Defining Duke, seeing a couple Iron Lords and the skits. I gotta get my gun because they shooting. I'll never forget that that skit with Hip Hop Gamer all from
Yes.
from years back. So happy to have you here. Happy to have all of you that we all know each other in some way. So, but enough with the introductions because this is the X Bottom Podcast, Escapes Gaming Podcast that posts every Fridays from 10 a.m. onward, God willing, available in the YouTube channel Escape Gaming, as well as most audio services around the world, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the like. You can find links on the RSS feed at tinyurl.com/escape gaming. If you enjoy our show, give us a like and subscribe. So, time to talk about what we've been playing. So, usually we have like the special guest to kind of start with the games. I see that there's a little bit of an overlap here with some games. So, before I do that, Joe, anything you want to say about your two games, Pokemon and Echoes of the End?
Yeah, I'll chime in quick here so that you guys can go all ninja on the audience here
Yes.
with the topics going on. But as a little teaser, so
Three of us came prepared, one did not.
Yes.
That's all I could say.
I've been busy in Switch World, playing Pokemon. I have played a lot of Pokemon Scarlet actually. When I was on here last week, I had like just restarted it. I'm like 14 out of I think there's 20 things that you can do or 18 things that you can do between the badges and the Team Star and the Titans. Like I'm almost to the end of this game in the grand story. So I put a lot of time in.
Yeah.
Uh, I hadn't played a Pokemon game since Sword and Shield, and it's always just nice to be back in the Pokemon world as someone who grew up with the Pokemon and I don't know if what any of your involvement with Pokemon really is. That Cog, I don't think you're a Pokemon guy. I don't think Rick is really a Pokemon guy, but Alex, are you? I mean, we're the same age more or less. So,
Yes, I like the first gen. So Game Boy
uh,
Color era all the way up until the GBA, and then I kind of fell off. So, but I have
yeah.
nostalgia for all old Pokemon. So,
Okay, yeah. So I played through the GBA as well. I never had a DS, so I stopped there, but I picked it back up. I always swore off Pokemon games until they had introduced a 3D movable camera. I was like, I'm done with this 2D nonsense. I want to turn my camera somewhere around the world
yes.
and see this beautiful Pokemon world. And they did that a little bit with Sword and Shield in the wild area. So I was like, all right, that's where I'll dive in. That's why I bought the Switch in the end.
Beautiful in
I, I,
quotes.
I, I see we've learned our lesson, huh?
Yes.
And so I have now dove back into Scarlet, and I have to say I played it a little bit when Switch launched when it launched on Switch. It was awful. It was so bad. It ran like a mess that whole time. The free patch that they did, really a really good patch. It's not they didn't fix everything. It still has a really bad draw distance for some reason. I'm like watching you can see like the underlying grass textures, but the pop in of like the fancy grass is popping in the whole way. So it's and then there's so many items that you're like, you're always keep an eye out. Like, did an item just pop in as I was running by? So Yeah, so there's some technical problems, but I just love being in Pokemon World and playing this game, and I'm really excited for ZA coming out later this year for Switch 2. I'll be definitely diving into that, and I have a buddy who's a huge Pokemon fan, and I mean like he buys crates of cards and like opens his crates of cards, like that kind of Pokemon fan, not like a jumps into the games Pokemon fan every so often like me. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited to get into ZA in the future, and I'm really liking Scarlet and Violet. It's got some technical issues still, but it's Pokemon through and through. It's Pokemon. Like
Mhm.
that's both the best and the worst thing that you can say
Mhm.
that it's Pokemon. Like it just doesn't change.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what you're
Eh,
getting with it. So,
you do. You absolutely do.
and you had a review go live recently.
I did. In addition to my Mafia the Old Country review, which went live last week, this week, just today that we're recording, so everyone you can check it out today or tomorrow when
Mhm.
this goes live, for a game called Echoes of the End. I mentioned it last week that I was about a chapter or two in, and I decided to go through the whole game, and no one else was covering it at Season Gaming, so I decided to write the review for the Season Gaming website. I checked with Ains. Everyone here knows Ains, of course,
Oh,
and
man,
I
salute.
yeah. So he's like, yeah, man, you want to cover it? Go for it. So I played through the whole game. I wrote a nice review. I ended up actually giving it a 7. I think it's just a flat good and season gaming score honorable game. It's the studio's first time out, Mercure Games. They're an Iceland-based studio. 40 people is what they advertise on their website. And they did a really good job for a double A budget. It's like $40 MSRP. I think I got it for 36 on
Mhm.
launch week sale or something. Well worth that money, I would say. I know that we have someone in the little group here who disagrees with that, who
Right.
also played it.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think your review score is too off the mark here.
Thank you.
It's probably, well, I mean, hey, even a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I think it's a little higher than I would give it, but I don't think a 7 is completely outlandish.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
I I talked about it on my show. I don't want to cut you off. Keep going. Sorry.
Yes.
No. I want to talk. What do you like? So what are your thoughts on it, Rick? And then I want to hear
Well,
Cog and know if Cog's ever heard of this game before
Mhm.
and see what he has to say on it. So, but
so,
Rick, go ahead.
well, so I mean, I will say the positives. I haven't done enough of the story to say if it's good or not, but it's well enough told. I mean, the voice acting is a little hit or miss. I believe you've mentioned
I
that.
agree. I did.
There's times it's very good, and there's times it's like, boy, they recorded this in a McDonald's bathroom. Um, but the world is beautiful. The animations much less so, right? The animations
Mhm.
are where you really see the double A side of it because they are pretty poor.
Yeah.
Uh, and the combat is just straight up bad, frankly. I mean, again, I've not played super far to get a ton of the abilities, but I do have enough that it has gotten a little better than when we originally talked about it.
Hmm.
But the combat 100% needed a rework from what they ended up with, I think. Like
Yeah.
the foundation's there, and that's what when we were, let's say, debating this in our chat. I think we were in agreement that like there is something there, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
the
Mhm.
idea, and I never disputed that at all. I was like, this is something that, given another maybe 6 months to tune a few things, it actually probably could have been very, very good.
I agree.
Um, and the biggest issue, and I mean, your review only posted today, I believe, so I haven't read it. Um, the biggest issue, I assume you mentioned in there is no feeling of impact whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more so in the you attacking side. There
Right.
is zero impact in you getting hit,
Yeah.
and
Cog,
That's
it's
bad. Mhm.
it's the craziest thing, Cog. You get hit and you don't realize you're
you
hit
actually
until
don't know
you
it.
look
That's
at your
correct.
health bar.
Yes.
Oh,
You do
wow.
not
You
realize,
just
like it doesn't shake the screen. It doesn't give you like a red
There's
flash.
There's
It's
no
yeah,
controller. Like I played
yeah.
on PS5. There's no
That's where I played
DualSense like triggers. There's no vibration.
oh, wow.
There's nothing. It's remarkably barren for any sort of
Force
indicator of
feedback.
what's happening to you.
Right.
There's no feedback whatsoever.
Wow.
But outside of that really big issue, it's actually really fun when you start getting your abilities. Had you ever heard of this game before? Echoes at the End?
I remember seeing the trailer for
Mhm.
it. I do remember seeing the trailer. Now I'm looking back. Oh, yeah, I remember this game. But I didn't even realize it was out in so many
Yeah,
games out there.
like a
But
week
yeah, I
ago,
do
yeah.
remember seeing it. Yeah.
It looks like God of War and Hellblade 2 had a baby, basically.
Mhm. In,
Yeah, except that it's more
another
gameplay than
Iceland.
Hellblade 2.
Yeah, I can already see based on the amount of the move sets.
Yes.
It's really it really is gorgeous. Like Rick said, it has this beautiful vistas. The team, like I said, is based in Iceland. They're in Reykjavik, and you can tell that they just looked out their window and said, "Let's put that in the game," and they just digitized their world, and they did a really great job. But they went they went budget on the facial capture and on the character models a little bit. Like there's a lot of shimmering on the hair and there's clipping of the stuff, and it's nothing that would be really that noteworthy if the combat didn't lack all feeling of impact. And I will say to Rick, your point about the actual you hitting things having impact, you feel more impact when you start getting more powerful spells, because there's no level system in this game. It's just you get skill points as you get experience, so you're never increasing your damage dealt, but you're getting abilities that increase your power and add to your arsenal. And like there's one really late ability that you get called Vortex, and you just suck everything into a giant vortex of magic, and then you can get an upgrade to that where then you can slam them down. You lift them up and slam them down. And when you can start doing those sorts of things, that's when you can start feeling it, because you're seeing it more. It's not just that little sword swish through. And I will say the cool thing with animations, not the swinging of the sword, but the execution. They have like a dozen unique execution animations for all the different types of enemies. There's like 3 for the humans and 2 for this and 3 for that. Like there's so many different animations for how you can kill the enemies. That's really cool.
There were two things I neglected to mention. One positive and one negative. I'll actually say the positive first. This is one of the first examples of anybody that I've seen, amazingly enough, from a AA team, that actually shows that maybe modern consoles can run Unreal Engine 5. Because it actually does run. Now, I played it on a
no
Pro.
stutters, no performance
problems.
Wow.
I won't say none, but it's very rare.
I had nothing in my playthrough on the PS5 Pro in performance mode. I was running smooth. I didn't notice anything that was like, ooh, what was that? Like I didn't see it really at all. Maybe my eye's not as good as Rick's in that regard, but in my
it was rare.
10 hours,
it was rare. It did not happen often, but I noticed it. But now the negatives, and this actually is a very big negative, is when the controls don't work, they really don't work. Basically the first ability you get,
7 out of 10.
It is a 7.
I'm not saying they literally don't work, but they don't do what you want them to do.
What them to do? Gotcha.
Right. So the first ability that you get, I forget what the term is, but you hold the L2 left trigger, whatever.
It's basically it's like a magic shove. It's like a force push.
Okay.
Not that one.
That one?
That one kind of does work. It's the other one I'm talking about, where you can force move things around, and one of the first things it teaches you to do is to basically grab an enemy and throw them into another one, which is a cool thing. That's what I was talking about. The force push. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I thought you meant the bash.
The blast. No, not the blast. No.
However, this is so badly designed that number one, like this is an issue with the controls, right? Number one, there is like this weird, I don't know how to describe it. There's this weird like frame,
like iframe.
I don't know how to describe it. If you try to start this at the wrong time, it just will not register at all, right?
Ooh.
And then,
yeah, okay.
You know, I'm talking. I don't know what the right term would be for this. And the other thing, and this is the even bigger issue. So the way that this controls is, again, you pull the left trigger, right, and you'll either see a rock on the ground or the enemy himself, and it'll put like this purple haze around it. Say that's what your targeting is, right? That when you're doing that, you pull and hold it, and then you move the right analog stick to get this little arrow for which direction you want to throw them. Mm-hmm. And when you let go, then it throws them. So there's two issues with this. Number one, that sounds okay in practice. It doesn't work real well when you're surrounded by about 3 enemies, right?
It's very hard. Yeah, it's really hard to control on your fingers.
Because the enemies are actually quite aggressive. Like they get up in your face pretty often.
Oh yeah.
Number two, and actually this is another complaint, but the targeting system is completely and utterly broken. Which, Joe, you did agree with me on that.
I do agree that the lock-on system doesn't the lock-on doesn't work very well, but you don't really need the lock-on when you're fighting the regular enemies. But the lock-on itself it's kind of hard to see where it's going. That's all.
But my point here is when you are fighting, say, 3, 4, 5 enemies, right? You need the lock-on to work so you can target the right enemy. Like specifically, if you have an enemy standing up on a ledge that you need to pull down because they're throwing things at you, and then for some reason when you're looking right at them and it targets the enemy behind you. Now, and here's the other issue with this, right? Once the game has decided what you are locking onto and you've pulled the trigger, you can't be like, oh no, that's not the one I want. Don't do anything.
You can't switch back.
There's no cancel.
You're committed. You're committed.
Once you have pulled the trigger, that is the enemy or rock or whatever you're going down with. There's no going back.
Committed is the theme of the combat in this game because there's no animation canceling. If you hit that button to swing your sword,
going all the way through.
You are going all the way through. And Rick, I actually think that might be the reason for your issue and the general issue with the targeting. It probably is. Because because I think if the game still thinks you're in the middle of the action, I think it doesn't register your first button push, and that's
and then on top of that, like you're right about that. There is no animation canceling. On top of that, there also is like a brief like dead period after an animation finishes before you can do something else. So it makes everything feel terrible. It just feels sluggish. It just feels bad.
It is the worst part for sure of the game, and it's not. What Rick and I basically settled on was that it depends on how much you're impacted by the combat and how.
I go with more of a 6, but like I said,
I love this. I love this.
Unlike a certain other review, I do not find your 7 to be like offensively bad.
They're referring to my Mind's Eye review, Cog. I reviewed Mind's Eye and I gave it a 6. I think that anyone saying that it's a broken, busted game had a bad experience, and that's fine. I didn't have that experience. I just played it. Yeah. Right, I enjoyed the story enough that I was like, it's like a 5 in gameplay, but the story is like enough to give it an extra point for me.
I was going to try not to embarrass you in front of our guests, but you show your ass.
I love it. These are the review wars, Alex.
There it is.
Yeah. So
I love it. I love it. I'm in the writers' room right now. I'm in the writers' room.
The last thing I
want a 7 to be offensive though. Like it still falls in the line of where I think is a fair review.
And I think it's got a 7.3 or a 7.4.
Yeah, you're right there. So instead of the Scarlet Letter, that is your Mind's Eye review on a 30 Metacritic. It's like this was at least like I know that you have a specific taste in some of your games that I don't feel offended hearing you had a 7, even though I hear broken controls over here and all that. I'm like, how is that a 7?
Well, the last thing I want to say on this, and then I want to throw it to you, Cog, so we can start hearing about your games, is I actually really like this world of the Echoes of the End universe. It's really interesting. It's like, I mean, the universe too is really cool. Like the basic plot line is a fallen empire from 200 years ago, like collapsed, and it fell into like multiple nations that are separate. They have Final Fantasy 16 crystals, Cog. They're like, they are literally just the crystals from 16 to the point where they 16? Even channel the magic out of them. Like that's where their magic comes from. You do know
those originated in Final Fantasy 1, right?
Yes.
I know, but I'm saying like where the plot is like, I'm talking about the plot, like someone in the game is trying to destroy the crystals in the Echoes
that's
world.
Final Fantasy 1. That's
Fantasy 1 too.
The story of FF1.
Okay. I had not played. I've only played 15 and 16 and 7 remake and rebirth. Okay, so anyway, it's got these for recent references. It's very 16ish in that feeling of the basics of like, but it's just this really cool world, really fascinating lore, and your character is this magic user, and there's not a lot of them out there. I really liked Echoes of the End. A good game. It's $40. I recommend buying it for $40 as long as you know what you're getting into. It's not $60. Don't buy it at $60. It's never been $60. If you can get it $30, even better. But I paid $36. I would have been okay paying $40 for it, and I really enjoyed the game. But
I'm a little more on a wait for a sale, but it doesn't have, because of the $40 price tag. It does not have to be a deep sale. If you paid $30 and knew that you were getting bad combat, you might have a good time. So we're kind of splitting hairs here.
Splitting hairs. You're both splitting.
Yeah, that sounds like a $20 game for me.
It 20 to 30, I think, is the sweet point for it.
So especially with everything that we have coming, it's like the money has to be spent in other stuff. But
Cog, I see you're playing a couple games here, right? Let's hear. Let's
hear from the ninja.
Yeah, the ninja, man. It's been the year of the ninja for me. It's just been what a renaissance of, a lot of my favorite, ninja protagonists in games that I haven't seen in so long kind of return. So, obviously I did the Platinum Game Studio visit, and prior to that, I just said, you know what, let me get going on Ninja Gaiden 2 Black that had released during the the Xbox Showcase when they announced that 4 was coming. Yeah,
the Developer Direct from January.
Developer Direct, excuse me, correct. And man, so I've been on that, and man, what a beautiful looking game. Obviously, UA5 and its dismemberment. Now, obviously, I played a lot of the original ones, and there are differences. One thing I've seen between Sigma and that is that they chose to reduce enemy density. And they went for a more dismemberment, bloody, spongier kind of enemy kind of thing. And that, what I remember, was a distinct difference, because the other ones, the enemies were aggressive. They were less, they took less damage in the original, but it was more of them in the Xbox 360 kind of thing.
You can have like 20 enemies sometimes in the 360 version.
Yeah, so that was a big change. I had to get used to it, but I just thought, look, for the most of the changes, I agreed with. And I remember there was like this huge Buddha boss that I hated in the other way. They got rid of that, and I'm like, yes, kind of thing. So look, you know, it was one of those things I wanted to get back in that field before covering Ninja Gaiden 4. And it's funny when I spoke to the Kaio-san, who's the director, one of the young directors of on Platinum Games side, because remember, it's a joint collaboration between Platinum Games and Team Ninja. And he immediately said Ninja Gaiden 2 was one of his favorite games of all time, and also kind of like an inspiration of where things they wanted to go, and then use the platinum flavor to evolve on it. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun just going through it and reminiscing and stuff like that. So it's good to have that back. And then the second game has been
actually, if you before you start that, if you don't mind, because I do have that on my list as well.
Yeah,
okay, please.
Yeah.
Yes, we all do. Yes, a lot of us do. Yes.
So I have a bit of a different take on Ninja Gaiden 2. In that, first of all, I love the original one. I put the original one in my maybe 2 or 3 favorite just pure action games of all time, right? And Ninja Gaiden Black is great, and for some reason people hate Sigma. I don't know why, because Sigma for the first one is perfectly fine in my opinion. In fact, it might even be better. But 2, as you mentioned, Sigma 2 is a big departure, whereas Black is a little bit more of a meet the middle ground, right?
Yes.
Like you still do have enemies that are a little bit tougher, like in Sigma, but they do have higher numbers, not as much as the original one, right? But therein lies perhaps my single biggest issue with Ninja Gaiden 2, is I did not like the change to significantly no, the other way around, significantly weaker enemies but larger numbers. I liked having maybe 1, 2, or 3 tougher enemies. But I like a Ninja Gaiden 1, right?
Gotcha.
Whereas 2 was more about to throw the horde at you, and then while they look cool, what's the name for cutting enemies up? Is that the obliteration technique? Is that?
Yeah, I think it's with the Y button.
Okay.
The Y button. The Y button.
Yeah, right. While that is awesome, and decimating enemies never gets old, right? That also, in my opinion, was maybe one of the for me, maybe the worst design decision they could have made, because it led to exactly what I just said, which is, the enemies are fast, they're aggressive, which is okay, but they die way too easy. And I like the idea of, you come like in Ninja Gaiden 1, you would get the taller mutants or whatever they were called, and it's like when you like dinosaur looking guys, and you get them, and it's like, oh hell, this is going to be a battle if you got more than one of them, right? Even when you get the large monsters in this one, they tend to die pretty quickly, and I didn't quite care for that change myself. Now again, Black is, I think, almost easily the best version of this. I know some people do prefer the original one.
Right.
I will take this over the original one every day, but original Ninja Gaiden 2, to be clear.
Original
not,
2.
not the original game, yes.
Gotcha.
But I still, unfortunately, what you just said with the guy saying Ninja Gaiden 2 was one of his favorite, that is very concerning, because I am very excited for Ninja Gaiden 4. I really, all the previews have looked fantastic. I want more Ninja Gaiden 1 than I want Ninja Gaiden 2, unfortunately. And it sounds like I'm not gonna get that.
You might not get that, bro. I'm just gonna be brutally honest with you. He literally,
they want speed in that one. So
yeah, like he added more speed to, but he literally signed with Platinum, from my understanding, for just to work on Ninja Gaiden 2.
This was the younger guy, right?
The young guy, Nakao-san. Yeah, young guy. But look, obviously I didn't play the full game in the full release, so we got to see how that goes. But for the the 2 or 3 stages I played, it felt similar. But I will give you this: what you might like in 4, where it really adds that challenge to fighting regular enemies. There's different enemy types, and there's some that are extremely tanky, and that's where the Blood Raven style comes in. Okay. And you have to utilize these techniques. If you use regular techniques, and it's a charge up, it's a build up. You have to kind of, I would say earn it, but you kind of always have it, but on a limited resource that has to kind of build up. And if you don't use these techniques, especially against these tougher enemies, which they're all throughout the stage, as well as boss encounters, it will be very difficult, almost impossible to beat. So hopefully that's the trade-off that maybe finds a little balance. Yeah.
And what I understand your point. And what I love about what I'm seeing of 4 is that you see kind of like the influences of other Platinum style games, the Astral Chains, the Nier Automatas, like with the.
God bless that game. I love Astral Chain.
That's my game, baby.
With the kind of like the platform and all that, because I do like Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I beat it early this year, and the one thing that I don't like about that game is that the level design is so straightforward.
Yes,
that it's like so like, especially later on in the game,
it's corridor.
It starts getting tiring. Whereas Ninja Gaiden 1 had a little bit more of an exploration to it, kind of like a Zelda almost. So it had that mix of the amazing combat, the exploration, and kind of like there was like a variety to it that I don't think was there in the second game. That when you're binging it, it kind of gets tiring. What I love about Platinum's games usually is that they're really tightly paced. And getting that Ninja Gaiden combat, which is usually always excellent with that kind of flair, is kind of what got me sold. And the idea of I do like the idea of the dual protagonist, because it's like I'm gonna get my Ryu, but I'm also gonna get like this other style, and it's clear that they're both feel different, even though it still feels quintessentially Ninja Gaiden. So that's kind of what makes me excited for 4. But yeah, that's kind of like my only thing with 2 that I think is really great. It's just that, especially later on in the final third of that game, it starts getting a little long in the tooth, especially with that level.
That's where I am now. I killed the Dark Dragon, and I'm like, God, this is kind of. I just kind of want this over with now.
When is it gonna end?
Yeah, like it's not even that it's long. It's just like, okay, I kind of had my fill. And you mentioned the speed, and the speed is both. This is another thing that is both awesome and, in my opinion, a little bit of a detriment. Not the speed of the game. I think Ryu himself is actually too fast, to the point that it does, like the Tonfas, for example, are almost pointless because everything else is so fast. I don't see the point of the Tonfas, which are the fast weapon, right? Yes. Even the slow, like the Scythe, or in Ninja Gaiden Sigma or Black, the Enma's Fang, even they're fast, and they are the slow weapons, you know? So
yes, but excited. So we have 2 more. We're literally 2 months away from today, August 21st. So to October 21st when it comes out.
So fun fact about me.
Yes.
I own Astral Chain. I've not played Astral Chain because it was a Switch game. It was on the stinky Switch, and I didn't want to play it on the stinky Switch. So
put it on Switch 2. Put it on Switch 2. Put it on 2 immediately.
It's already installed. It's already installed. I promise I will. But the only Platinum game I have ever played is actually The Legend of Korra.
Oh my god. No way.
Oh my god.
No. Wow.
Platinum have made some of the best games ever, and that's the one
that's the one you play. I would have accepted the Transformers.
I didn't know that.
I want to be clear. I want to be clear. He does not speak for this podcast.
Yes.
I just
disown him.
I was just curious. I was just curious. I went to look. I was like, oh right, they are Astral Chain. I have that. I can't wait to play that. What have I played of theirs? And I was just looking at their wiki page, and I'm like, nope. I own Bayonetta on 360. I never played it. I have played The Legend of Korra. And that's it, because I love Avatar and Korra, and I love they love them so much. It was one of the first shows I shared with my girlfriend when we started dating a few years ago. Like, I love that stuff. But
that game's bad.
That game's horrible.
That's why I opened up with I have Astral Chain installed on the Switch. It's ready to go. It'll be soon. I promise.
You got to give that a show.
It looks great. I remember hearing about it, Cog. I thought it looked fantastic. I was like, this is so fun.
Astral Chain is incredible.
Joe, whatever you were going to play next, get rid of it and instead play Nier Automata.
Yeah, 2. Yeah,
which is also
or Replicate. Automata is much better, and you can really play them in either order. But play Nier Automata. That is one of the best games ever made.
I don't know. We're really close to Lost Soul Aside, Rick. I don't know if I have time.
Lost Soul Aside looks good. I promise you, no matter how good it is, Nier Automata is better. I promise.
I'm still so nervous. You were saying, Doug?
No, I was saying what's funny is Nakao-san, who was working on Ninja Gaiden 4, he also worked on Nier Automata and Bayonetta 3. So he's got a lot of that energy he's bringing into the game as well.
Yes. Yeah, so just the fact that he worked on Nier is like gives me confidence, because that's like their top. If we need the upper echelon of like,
it's their best story by a mile. It's very much. Their
Julio, that you like stories a lot more than gameplay. Like that's why Nier should be like a priority.
You know what? Not even to make fun of him here, he genuinely might not like Nier's story, because it does kind of leave a little bit open.
I
didn't think about that. He genuinely might not like it because of that.
I tell you, Cog, if the Iron Lords had a deserting to like the to the wall for sins, like Joe would be the first one to
Joe would be he'd be on the wall.
He would be the wall. He would be the wall.
I have very particular taste, strong opinions, and that's all I'll say.
Think about it as a more like hair tearing Rick Hogue. Like It's in the same.
Okay. It's a lawyer thing.
Yes, it's a lawyer. Exactly. It's like that's why I said it's summon sign. Sorry at Lawyers Gaming Takes, because that's a common denominator.
We did a summon sign. Alex and I did a summon sign with Brad and Hogue back in April, and that was Alex's sorted out lawyer takes, because Hogue and I have some fun takes.
Oh yeah, and I went for it. I roasted Hogue for the Andromeda take.
Oh my god! Trust me, I gave Hogue the business on that one.
I know.
We did a whole Mass Effect
1 and 2 versus episode.
Yeah, you remember? Yeah. Way back. Oh yeah, we had Hogue, and he gave me a Andromeda take. I was like, oh really? Okay, we gonna have a discussion about this.
Yeah. What's funny is that I think that take almost single-handedly won the argument for Mass Effect.
Yes, for the Mass Effect 2 guys. We were like, the guy on your team thinks Mass Effect Andromeda is the greatest Mass Effect game. Case closed.
Yeah. I think Mass Effect 3 is the best Mass Effect
I kept that one and use it as a trap card.
Yeah,
I think Mass Effect 3 is the best Mass Effect game, so I know I'm in the minority on that.
Oh, you're like Attic. Attic loves 3.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm not offended with a 3 liking 3, but Andromeda is like, we know how Andromeda was.
Yeah. I actually really like Andromeda. I don't think it's the best Mass Effect game, but I do like Andromeda a lot. I'm a Dragon Age guy.
Of course you would.
I'm the Dragon Age guy for this podcast, for the website. Like, I am the Dragon Age guy. I know the lore. I know the games. So that's but I love Mass Effect too. But I do think 3.
Yeah, I defer on Dragon Age anything to Joe. That's like the one thing that I know he has authority that I just kind of let, because he really likes that. Demio or Demio, I don't know how you say it. How's this game called? Mm-hmm.
It's fun, man. It's kind of like a 4-player kind of Dungeons and Dragons light card game. And I remember during my days before beta, and I was very skeptical of you. I'll just be brutally honest. And a friend of mine was like, I have the game for you, Cog. You like turn-based. It's co-op, 4 players, different classes. I think you're gonna like it. And I played it. I absolutely fell in love with that game right there. There it is. So DBO is it's on PS5. It's on PS5 VR as well. Okay. And it is a simple, cool romp. You got your basic class system. You have your sorcerer, you have your guardian is more of like a tank class, you have an assassin who can move around the map. So pretty much each character has about 4 or 5 cards, and they're one specific intrinsic ability card that each character has. Like, for example, the tank guardian guy, he puts up a shield to give him extra armor. The assassin can go invisible once a turn or whatever to go around the map. And there's unique enemies. There's amazing cooperative combo play. And then the thing that I really like is there's great boss encounters with boss mechanics. And it really encourages teamwork. The feel is so Dungeons and Dragons. The music is great. And mind you, I am not the Dungeons and Dragons guy. I don't play those games like that. And this is, to be honest, in fairness to that community, this is the most casual, easy to pick up, easy onboarding game for anyone intimidated by any type of Dungeons and Dragons or card game. Highly recommend. Now, granted, I feel the game is perfect in VR because when you play a game like that, and it's like, say if you're playing chess, right? It's like me being in a virtual chessboard, and I can grab the knight and the bishop, move it to where I want. I can manipulate the board how I want. In VR, it's perfect. You get a level of fidelity. But I will say, it's on Steam. It's on PS5, and I'm like, man, they actually did it well with the camera control and moving things around. Yeah, I don't have all the precision that I would have in VR, but it's good enough. I would say it's like you still get about 85% of the experience. And I highly recommend it. That you could play solos, you could play, it's cooperative team of 4, and each dungeon is about 3 levels, getting progressively harder. You save as you get one, you could buy abilities and stuff like that. And man, it's a ton of fun. You'll play the game, you're like, man, 3 hours went by, we're having a ball. We almost there at the last part, and then you get the boss encounter, and they are tough. A lot of them again have really unique mechanics. There's about 6 adventures. There's about 6 characters total, and that you can pick from, and then about 4 to 5 adventures called dungeons and quests. And just the success of the game from Resolution Games has done so well, they've now signed a deal with Wizards of the Coast, and they are now doing an official Demio / it's called Battlemark. That's coming out in the fall or whatever. My only thing is I'm a little mad at Xbox. I'm like, why the hell is this your platform? When I said, okay, fine, it's VR, but PS5. There's a Steam version. What the hell is the Xbox version? I love this game. Like, so I've been playing it on PS5 last night. I've just been playing. Like, and I tell people this: if you're not a believer in VR at all, or just want to try this game, I've convinced every single person who's never played VR. They're like, bro, when are we gonna play Demio tonight, man? Oh my god!
And you have the VR too, right?
Yeah, I got the Xbox the Quest one right here, that one right there. And what you call it? Like I said, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to be, you don't like VR at all, cross play from VR to console and VR to Steam. So it's really cool.
That's so cool. Let me ask you, Cog. As someone, so I bought Demio on your recommendation years ago. Like I haven't, but I've never actually played it because.
Oh, we got to get a game in. That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't really have a lot of friends that have. Well, I don't really have a lot of friends in general, but I don't really have a lot of friends that like play video games and like VR, that sort of thing. Like my friends are. Actually, most of my friends are line dancers, believe it or not. But that said,
oh my god, this is going downhill.
I love it. I love it.
I'm just, this is just stream of consciousness right here. So how is it as for the single player, the person who is just playing by himself? Because like my VR headset's sitting right over there. I brought it up to play. I did the Horizon VR game on PSVR 2. How is it by yourself? I'd love to play with you. That's great.
We'll set it up. First of all, we will set up a game. I'll give you my ID. We will play a game with Demio.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
by yourself, I don't recommend doing the mode. I think it's. Don't quote me. It's There's one mode. I don't know if it's skirmish or it's just single player where you just pick one character and go. Terrible. Don't play this as a single player. At minimum, if you're gonna play by yourself, play where you are allowed to pick 4 heroes at a time. That other mode is a more hardcore experience mode for guys that's been doing it, right? So you want to have
skirmish is the hardcore mode. That sounds like it should be the easy mode.
I think you may have me right. Correct it. I think skirmish is the easy mode. There is a mode where they allow you to say you can only pick one. Don't do that. Okay. Pick the mode that allows you to pick all 4, and then you can learn each of the characters' abilities, their attributes, stuff like that. But as far as cooperative, it is the ultimate cooperative.
Did you say 4-player Cog? Is that?
Yes, 4 players. All 4 of us could play DBO right now. Yeah, it's amazing.
How does it feel for motion sickness people? Like I'm not really a motion sickness person, but just curious, how does that feel? Is there anything you've noticed on that? Yeah.
You could play Demio completely stationary. So you can put it in stationary mode. The cool thing is you have 2 options, which I like now that they have is the color pass-through. So if you're a person that doesn't like to be completely immersed because this thing will immerse you like you're in an 80s basement. And it's it's going for that whole vibe of the 80s, like down. They even got old TVs, things that look like an Atari next to you. And like it's giving you that vibe of how it was back in the day. And what's so cool is like, if you don't like that, it's too much. Hey, you got kids, you got a dog, or whatever's going on. You either double tap or press the color pass-through button. And what happens is you just have the board now, and you could see.
That's cool, actually.
Yeah. So if you're one of those guys that's like, hey, VR is a little too much. I need to still know my surround. And then you can move the physical board and say, hey, I'm going to put it right here. I could shrink it. I could extend it. I could twist it.
Like a master, like a quartermaster.
So it almost functions more like augmented reality if you want to.
It is. They've added, you said the correct term. They've added the AR mode to DVO.
That's pretty cool.
It's a game changer, bro. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
It reminds me of, remember, I don't know if you guys remember from way back in the day when Microsoft tried to do the Halo Lens demo, whatever it was.
Yeah, in Minecraft thing.
Yeah, it's literally that. We finally there. Yeah.
10 years later.
You still have that giant thing on your face, which is always that's always the killer.
Enough. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. You can't listen. Anybody, it don't take long for anybody to drag me into a DVO game. It won't be a hard ask. Yeah. Let's just say.
I think it's $40. I think so. I'm kind of interested hearing about that.
Give it a shot.
Does that include all content, or is extra boards extra money, or
full content, full-fledged game, no microtransactions?
And there is a demo too. I think they have a Demio
I believe demo. So. And all cosmetics are earned in game through progression.
Oh, perfect! I love it. I love hearing that.
Yeah, so cool.
What sort of cosmetics do they have? Is it like cosmetics for your characters, like your pieces, or
for each piece as you go to a level? Like I said, like the warlock will unlock the different outfit, and some of them are really drastic. Also, the die that you roll before each move to do it, you change the die, you change your glove, you change your your virtual appearance of your person that's controlling the characters as well. You know what I'm saying? But it's simple. It's like a mask. Everyone has like a mask. That kind
So I can't put like my own wizard hat and mask on or the beard or anything.
yeah, you won't see you per se. We'll just see the representation of this mask, and we'll see your hands while we're playing, while you're manipulating your pieces.
Do you see arms though? Is it just the weird only hands thing?
Just
or do you
the
actually
weird
have
only
arms?
hands. And the cool
The
thing
weird
is though,
floating
if
hands over there.
yeah, the weird floating, but the cool thing is
So
to say
weird.
like you're like, hey Cog, I think you should move there. You can then draw and let me know what you think I should do or where I can move. We can all interact that way, and it does have voice chat in conjunction with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds interesting. So that's been available for a while, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he does it
so,
out.
so yeah, like if you're interested in what you heard that, it's like it's $40. I see it's 40 on Steam. I think it's the same price. On PSN, you can kind of double check me on that, Joe. So reeling us slightly back to the Ninja talk. You guys were playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I was playing Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the one that came out a couple of weeks ago, the 2D side scroller from Dotemu. I got to stream it and beat it on stream. And I would say really fun game, super tough. Not the best game to play on stream when you're jet lagged from like having traveling and like having gone to like intense workout sessions and then I still wanted to pull a stream late at night because boy, was I struggling. Like at the most like easiest things that I could like dodge or be able to like attack, I was just keep messing up. And there's like a different energy when you're streaming yourself playing a game versus just being the one that you're locking in. And literally on my stream, I even punched this table. Like I literally punched.
You got a rage moment.
I got a
rage bound.
literally. It's just that kind of game. Like Ninja Gaiden is tough. So yeah, that one's definitely tough. Though I do appreciate it had through accessibility, you can kind of like tweak how much damage you get if it's becoming a little too hard. Eventually, I was like, I kind of want to finish. I also made the mistake of titling my stream, maybe finishing. And I was like, God damn, well, I got to finish this. It was like 1 a.m. already here. I was like, still playing. I was like, man, this thing keeps going. This is so tough. Like, I just like kept lowering slightly more and more the hell just to kind of finish it. But if you like the old school style, like you really have to be like on your rocker. Like you got to know like when to jump, when to attack, how to use all your sort of limited moveset that you get kind of like from this style. And in a more modern, like more tighter, like 20-25 cents. I think like Ragebound is really good from that. I really like their bouncing parry mechanic that I always, again, because I was so stressed, I kept forgetting I could do it. And that was like the key to some of those bosses because they had like all these million different moves at the same time. But I really like kind of like a dynamic that you get with Kenji, the not Ryu character. You play this and another ninja character that does like throwing shurikens. Like there's interesting level design that happens like you have to switch between both characters. I'm not going to spoil how you switch with these two characters. And I would say, like, if you like that old school style of ninja game, I'd say it's still worthy recommendation. I would say, though, having also played the Shinobi game, as you can see, like,
before you get to that, I did want to say, I have not played this yet, Ragebound. But I will be. I ordered the European Collector's Edition or whatever it is. But it also hasn't come out yet physically. It comes out, I think, in September. Then I gotta wait for it to ship from Europe. So,
as you can see, Rick likes his collectibles by his entire background.
yes, my man.
There's a lot back there.
I love it.
Yes, I don't have space for collectibles. So.
Oh, I don't either, but that doesn't stop me from getting them.
so yeah, from what I played of the demo of the Shinobi one, I think I like Shinobi slightly better from like these two games. I think I just find the visual style of Shinobi even more striking, even though I love the pixel art that they did at Ragebound. But there's just something more like immediately captivating on how that Shinobi game looks. And even in the demo that I played, I'm really excited to play that next week. I think it's coming out. I mean, everything's coming out next week, starting next week. So I'm glad I played Ragebound. Really good game. Obviously, I screwed myself based on the situations how I played it, but it's a game that's all about skill. So you kind of know what you're getting at. I would say they really captured the spirit of the tough old school NES era Ninja Gaiden.
Yes, yeah.
Well, nobody made you come to the good old US of A again, Alex. You didn't have to come back here so soon to visit.
I mean, I took the opportunity for my birthday. I was not gonna.
You have to. Always, you have to, for sure. Always, I've always been of the opinion, if you get a chance to travel, you take that chance to travel. I love, and Cog, you've been in Japan. You're going to Japan twice in 2 months.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of,
it's so crazy.
A lot of Japan travel.
Oh yeah.
You put yourself through the ringer this year to go to Japan with the Lords, and still you're able to go to Japan beforehand.
And it happened out of nowhere. It was just one of those
that's
things. Okay,
awesome.
this is a dream opportunity. I have to take advantage of. I
Yes.
guess I'm going twice. That
Yes.
kind of thing. Yeah.
And Rick, finally, you have the final game of this list, Mafia: The Old Country. Obviously,
not a lot to say. I'm just. I mean, I think I'm approaching the end. When I played it last night, I believe I finished chapter 10, so I think I'm on 11. I believe there's 15.
14.
14. Okay, so I'm even closer than I thought I was.
Do you like it?
It is. Oh yeah, it's quite good.
Okay.
I would put it maybe second or third best in the series. The first one's still the best. I can't decide if I like 2 or 3 better. That said, I can't believe I have to say this, but it's absolutely not even remotely as good as Uncharted 2, 3, or 4. But
Yes.
I'm going to say that.
Yes.
Yes, Joe, you should be embarrassed for that.
Yes.
You should be very embarrassed for that.
Yeah, we had a big thing last week where Joe said that Mafia was better than every Uncharted game, and that
it's not even a pimple on the ass of the Uncharted series.
I like Uncharted well enough. I think all the Uncharted games are solid 7.5, depending on what you're talking about. I gave Mafia: The Old Country an 8. I really liked that story. I really liked Enzo as a character. I think Enzo is a more interesting character, and he irks me less than Nathan Drake irks me. I don't like the Han Solo rogue character. Like, that is not who I appreciate as a character in a story. And Enzo is not that. That is not Enzo. Enzo is like, have you played Old Country, Cog? I don't know.
No, I've not, but I've been listening to Sov and I've been listening to Maddie bloviate about it. And about a very tight narrative experience and more of a linear game, kind
very
of thing.
linear.
Yeah,
very linear.
Yeah, they seem to be very strong, and as far as not them sticking to the guns as far as not going open world is kind of the energy that I also like. But they love the character and the narrative.
Yeah, they fixed what Mafia 3 ruined basically by going for the full open world.
So. They did. I think it's personally my favorite Mafia game. I think my ranking is similar to Rick in that for me, I think 3 is the best, and then I put number 1. I actually don't like 2 at all.
Rick's about to pass out.
Yes, no. The best one's 1. It's 1.
You said 3 might be your second game. So
no, I didn't. I said 2.
Yeah, 2.
You said
your list is nothing like mine. Where are you getting this from?
You said 1 is your favorite. 3 might be second or third.
No, I did not. I said 2.
Yeah,
I said either 2 or Old Country is my favorite, and then 3.
Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant Old Country. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. So
okay.
3 might be it.
I apologize. I'm getting mixed up. I mean Old Country. Old Country is the best one, is what I meant to say. I apologize. Old Country is the best one, I think. And then I put Definitive Edition the first game as the second on there. I don't like 2 that much. I don't like 2 at all, actually. But I think that you would like the story of this game, Cog. It's because it's really very tight. It's like 11 hours, 12 hours.
Right in my pocket. That's where we go.
Yeah, I beat it on stream.
I did it in like 2.5 days. Like I started the day it came out. I was done by 6 a.m. Sunday morning because I didn't go to sleep that night and I wanted to write the review. So yeah, it's really a great game, Rick. I hope you finish it and you enjoy it, because I do think the Old Country story is.
I'm probably 2 hours from it. That's probably about it.
The ending is a little bit long. It does stretch a little bit there.
Maybe 3 or 4 then. But my plan is probably to finish it by the end of this weekend, if not before it. So
yeah, because you're gonna get to the section where you do the big thing, and then you're like, oh, I must be almost at the end. It's like, nope, you got one more really big thing to do. Go around and have another car chase shootout thing, and
I will say I did not expect this, but I actually quite like the driving in this game. I actually thought it would be kind of ass because it's cars from 5. Yes. No, because the driving actually in 3 was quite good. It's about
3
that and the character about the only good things about 3 I can say, but
the overarching story of 3 is actually really interesting. Lincoln
Clay. I was referring to gameplay. To be
I wish there was a version of Mafia 3 that stripped the open world and just made it just a story, and it would be one of the best ones.
It'd be great. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Yes. But no, I do quite like the driving in Old Country, and I did not expect that to be the case.
Yeah, it feels they really tightened it up a lot for sure compared to what driving in 1 is like. And also they give you a lot of options to change the driving modes. Like you can do automatic or manual shifting or classic driving mode where you don't have any driving assist or a little bit more assist. It has a lot of flexibility to it, which is good. It's good. The more I'm always a fan of more options, the better.
Yeah,
so
I like 1 the best. I would say Mafia: The Old Country. I think is my second one because I don't like the gunplay of Mafia: The Old Country. I hate it, actually. I hate this.
Yeah.
And I have video of it, how much I hate it while I was streaming it, playing it, because I don't like weapon sway. The weapon select is like so annoying. I'm aiming at the head. I'm shooting at the head. Why is it not hitting the head? Screw you, game. But I really love the story of that of that game. At least it wasn't a surprising story, but it was a well told story. And I respected the fact that they committed to the linear game in
Yeah.
2025. Like they actually were like
Yes.
I highly respect that they were able to go back to that kind of style of game, embrace it, do it at a cheaper price, did it well, because I feel like if it's successful, it's gonna teach more people. Be like, yeah, it's like if you want that style of game, it doesn't have to be the super bloated open world. So if from that area, that's where I appreciate Dual Country more. Even though I prefer still the original one, and 2 or 3 are interchangeable for me based on I like the story of one the other, but the other one's kind of like too dated. But
Yeah,
To be clear, I do want to say one. I actually also did play. I never finished Definitive Edition, but I finished the original game back in '97
really?
or whatever it was. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I played it back on
2002.
PC.
I think it's 2002.
I thought it was in the '90s. Either way, back then. No, you're right actually, because GTA 3 was out by then. I love that story. I love that game. So there probably is a chance that I like Definitive Edition a little bit better than maybe the Definitive Edition itself it would be, because the Mafia 1 story is very, very good. and very personal.
Cog, also, if anything, you may or may not know this, but the original Mafia and Mafia 2 are stories written and directed by Daniel Vavra. Kingdom Come
Oh,
Deliverance.
KCD. Oh,
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Wow.
Yeah, after 2, he left and started Warhorse.
Yeah, he left. He left and started Warhorse
Legend.
for KCD. But yeah, so if you like KCD 2 and 1, which I know
Love
you and the
KCD.
Lords have good relationship with
KCD
that
fan
studio
right
and
here,
everything,
baby.
too.
Oh,
Yes.
huge.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Game of the year contender for sure for me.
Oh, game of the not even a question right now for me. It is game of the year.
It is number 1 for 2 more weeks, baby.
Oh.
2 weeks it loses
Yeah.
its spot, but
Loses
as of
its
now,
spot.
it's there.
yeah, we're getting
Silksong, man, yeah.
we're getting there because that's a great segue.
Great
to-
transition.
Yeah.
To our
But yeah, I would
headlines.
say try the Old Country, Cog.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Mafia 1.
Yeah, especially if you want to
At least.
beat a narrative game like I just want a hashtag just one narrative game.
Yeah, just kind of,
Yeah, so
tight
go
down
for it.
experience.
Go for it. So these headlines are written on Joe's voice, so he's got to read them, and we can also roast
And
him.
he
or
has
some
to read
other
them
time.
all word for word. He does
Yes.
not get to editorialize and leave out words here.
Yes.
I want to
Oh,
be clear about that.
this is the punishment?
I
Yes.
want to be no, it's not a punishment. He just
Yeah.
chose not to do this before.
Yes.
As it is written is how it is read.
Joe,
Make it-
take
go.
it.
Let's go.
Good God and heaven be praised. We finally have a release date for 2025's Game of the Year Hollow Knight Silksong. September 4th, 2025. Yes, folks, you heard that right. A mere 2 weeks or 1 week and 6 days from when this goes live away. Now we can stop seeing those ridiculous articles about it being missing from every single showcase.
Indeed.
Yes. So Rick is the biggest Hollow Knight fan that I personally know, so I think I have to give him the
Same.
floor for this one. So Rick,
Yeah, but probably me and Silk in it. We kind of share the share the title there, but yeah. So basically, I could describe this as the best Metroidvania ever made is finally getting its originally supposed to be expansion, but now seems to be follow up. So before we started, Joe had asked how long it's going to be. We do not have the answer to that. However, we do have some info that may or may not indicate this. In this trailer that was released today, they said over 200 enemy types, which I believe is a good bit more than what was in the original game. I want to say the original game was somewhere around 170 to 180.
How long is the original game, by the way? How long is that?
It depends how much you want a completionist. If you are very, very, very good and don't need to get extra updates, you could probably pound through it in Alex, maybe 10 to 12.
okay.
But if you want to push it, you could probably get 40 hours out of it easily. It is a pretty meaty Metroidvania, and it's a tough one. I mean, that's kind of the delineation there. But also, they did confirm 40 bosses, which very much falls in line with, I believe, actually the exact number that Hollow Knight itself finished with after the final
Heart Edition?
Eater, whatever the final one was called. Yeah, that added a couple extra bosses. I believe 40 is the exact number that you run through in the Pantheon of Hallownest, which is which is every boss in order. So basically, that tells me that this game is as long, if not perhaps a little bit longer than the original Hollow Knight, which is surprising because, again, this was originally supposed to be an expansion. For those who don't know, this was the final Kickstarter stretch goal to let you play as Hornet Shah, and you would get to play as her originally just as an extra character. Then it kind of kept going. They said, you know what, let's make an expansion out of it. And then it kept going. And before you know it, they were making a whole other game. And after many, many years of agonizing wait and silence that really makes certain platform holders sound like they never shut up. We are finally going to see what is, I mean, there's zero question this is going to be a very, very, very high quality game.
The hype is there.
The hype is there, and I mean, the hype is there for a reason, right? Like obviously it has become a bit of a meme and a bit of a joke because it's been so quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I do see people frequently ask why it is so popular, and I can answer that pretty well, actually. Couple things. So first of all, obviously by today's in today's gaming landscape, something being or having Souls-like mechanics is a pretty boring and rote thing, right? It was not in 2016, I think, is when this first came out in early access. This was one of the very first games to actually do it that was not an actual Souls game. And it did it well, right? It has the use a resting spot to get your health back. Enemies respawn. When you die, you drop money. It's not experience in this case, but it's similar. But on top of that, as good as they are, Metroidvanias, whether you get Castlevania, whether you get Metroid itself, whatever, they typically do tend to not have, at the risk of offending some diehard fans, they tend to not have the tightest platforming for sure, right? Combat is in some of them, I mean, Castlevania is usually quite good, but in Metroid it's usually not the greatest, right? You're usually playing it for the story, the exploration, all that stuff. In Hollow Knight, the platforming was like, that was how they initially marketed it. It's like, we are making a Metroidvania that is tough, right? It's got great bosses, it's got great combat, all that stuff, and we are specifically designing it with very tight platforming. And Hollow Knight's platforming, I will put that up against any 2D platformer there's made. It is that good. It is that tight. It is that precise.
It feels good to play.
It feels incredible to play. And I am on record saying this, and I will die on this hill. Hollow Knight, and I can't say this with Silksong yet, so I'm saying with Hollow Knight, has the best bosses in gaming history. I will die on that hill. There's a couple not so great ones, but the reality is, out of those 40 bosses, 30 of them are great, if not outright excellent.
Now, is this best in terms of like the combat of fighting them, or best in like their really interesting story bosses, or what do you mean by best?
Sort of more that's a good question, but more the gameplay side of them, how they function, their design. Though I would include their actual physical design, because one thing about Hollow Knight, and if you guys saw it, I posted in there, you love it or hate it, it does do the stupid ass FromSoft method of storytelling, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the sad part is, if you ever watch the video, the one that I shared by Moss Barg, I think is the name, something like that, that is Hollow Knight's lore. Hollow Knight's lore is actually amazing. It's very, very, very quick. It's set in a world of insects. So if you ever look at them like bugs, that's why, because they're actual literal bugs that have gained mass, like very, very high intelligence, and they create this bug utopia, like city civilization, if you will, called Hellenest. And something happens that is obviously related to the true final boss of Hollow Knight, and the whole thing starts to collapse and blah 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 blah. There is so much lore as to what different types of insects have like certain parts of Hellenest, right, and why these guys maybe use these kind of weapons. Like, it's crazy. It does have FromSoft level of lore telling. It's just, man, it's not quite as obtuse as like Dark Souls is, but it's up there. It can be pretty weird. But if you ever get an hour and a half or so and you want to just look up on YouTube, look up the lore of Hollow Knight, and the guy he is pretty funny to it, actually. He's pretty entertaining, but you'll be like, damn, that's actually some pretty good lore. And so it's very exciting to see what they do. And what's very interesting is there's 5, I think it is, very, very different endings to Hollow Knight, and they have said in some way that this does not uncanonize any of them, and I don't know how that could be.
I'm curious about that.
Secretly a prequel.
Yes.
No, they have said it's definitely not a prequel. They have said that, so that's why I think it's one ending. Hornet is, I don't know how this could be a sequel to that, but I guess we'll see. But either way, I am so excited. I don't know if you remember this Alex, but I basically had gotten so dejected from not seeing this game that I started refusing to believe it was ever coming out.
Yes, wow, you're like you're an even bigger grump than usual.
Well, and also, to be fair, was a bit of a joke running with Silk.
Oh yeah, they were getting clowned.
I mean, because he was always like, Hollow Knight 2025. I'm like, hey, coming in 2025. But finding out that it's coming out in 2 weeks, which I genuinely did not expect that. I thought we'd be looking at late October, early November.
I
2
was
weeks is
expecting it like at the launch of the the Xbox Rog Ally. That's when I was, because they were like, oh yeah, this thing is gonna be available when we launch this thing. So that's why I was like, whenever that release it is, that's when Hollow Knight's gonna come out. But
Yeah, I was expecting late October, early November, because they did say, despite the way that sounded when I think it was Sarah Bond said that, they were not launching coinciding with it. They were just saying, and so I was like, all right, well, that thing in Australia, the museum or whatever it is in October. So I'm like, well, clearly that's going to be before this, and it's actually not. So I was like, hell yeah, I don't have to wait very long. That's
nice.
That's not true. Obviously, I had to wait a very long time. But I don't have to wait much longer now.
Close to the finish line, baby.
I am so
there's a true final boss in this. I always find the concept of true final thing so funny, because like final by definition is the end. It's like Cog and Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon. There's the final Millennium Tower, and then there's the post-game true final Millennium Tower dungeon.
Yes.
And it's a little different here. It's
I know that.
If you specifically don't get these couple of things, you will fight. This is a minor spoiler, but you fight the Hollow Knight itself, right? But the reality is the Hollow Knight itself is not the enemy. You have to do something to then go to the final boss, or to the fight against the Hollow Knight, which then leads to the true final boss, which is very, very fucking hard. Very hard.
That's cool. I love stuff like that. That's so cool.
Cog, have you played Hollow Knight?
Yeah, I actually played it. Looking at my E3 2019 is when I played it.
When
Nintendo
when they announced,
I played it on Nintendo Switch. I'm looking at this ILP video 6 years ago. We put it out. And I thought I had some exclusive content for a game that was going to be coming out very shortly at that time. And here we are. Look, man,
that puts perspective a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I had 7 minutes of exclusive gameplay. I'm checking it right now. I was so pumped. I was like, yo, this is gonna be a huge game. The game is absolutely painterly. It's beautiful. One of the more combat, very, very cool, precise combat, amazing platforming. It's just a beautiful game. So I felt for the fan base. Like, I'm listening to Rick and I can hear it. So I can hear we've been waiting. The way you've been feeling about that is like the way I've been waiting for Shinobi game. I'm like, wow, they're doing one.
You wait a lot longer than me, though.
Bro, like 93. I've been since 93. Shinobi 3 of the Adventure
There was
Master.
one on PS2.
Yeah, the 3D one.
Shinobi fans, we don't.
I like that game, actually. I like that one.
It was okay.
The last, I should say, the last Joe Masashi game.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
Makes sense.
Kind of thing. But now, to your point with Hollow Knight, I thought it looked great. Again, I was confused too. I thought it was going to be like a simultaneous release with the Rog Ally based on Sarah Bond's comment, and then now we got clarification. Oh, we don't gotta wait that long. It's about 2 weeks. Man, this is gonna do well. And to your point, the boss is amazing. I'm sorry, Alex, you're gonna jump in for a second.
At least Sarah Bond didn't completely lie, because the thing will be available at the Rog Ally when it
launches. It would be. So. But this is one of those. It was Soft that put me onto this game, and I was just like, wow, this is outstanding. He's the platforming guy, but when he convinced me, he's like, oh, you're gonna love it, the challenge, and also just again, I love tight platforming when it's done really well. It's like a dance. And then when you start getting into these challenges and beating bosses and all these different mechanics, it starts to really take shape. Yeah, game's amazing. I didn't even know about the lore to that point. I just was playing it for what it was, face value, and enjoying it. So yeah, I will be there to celebrate. And 2 weeks, man.
Did you finish it, Cog, or how much?
Hell no. That game broke me. There was a couple bosses.
It is hard.
It's hard, bro. And I was like, all right, I got to come back to you. I don't want to throw a controller right now. I'm getting.
You got 2 weeks.
That happened to me back in 2018. Like, I was not in a good spot back then, and then as soon as I started playing, I got to that first boss. I got destroyed. I was like, it's one of these, huh? No, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
You got to come back. You got to mentally be in the right place for certain encounters. Yeah.
Then I just kept and then it passed me. You're like, I'm gonna come back, and then other stuff kind of start piling up, and that becomes like one of those chain pile games. But I tend to, like, when I know there's a sequel imminent, that's when
you get excited. Yeah, you play the old one now to get ready.
So now I'm gonna play it. Now that I know that it's 2 weeks out, because I'm like, finally, I have my excuse to finally play it, because I've been meaning to. And since we were talking about the Rog Ally,
wait, I did just want to say real quick, just on topic of what we were saying. If you want to know the good bosses or look them up, I will put Nightmare King Grim. I think that's his name. I will put Pure Vessel, and significantly less difficult than those two, but I will put, I think they're called the Sisters of Battle.
Okay.
The three like Mantis Lords, Queens or whatever. I will put those 3 bosses against any boss in gaming history.
Cool. I'll keep those in mind when I play. Like, I'll look at them, so I make sure that I play them. They're not optional, right?
Actually, technically, all three of them are yes. Because Pure Vessel does not even appear in the main game. You only fight it in the Pantheon of Hell. Or I'm sorry, the Pantheon of Hellenes and the one before, whatever it's called. Nightmare King Grim is purely optional, but it's a very late game boss. And then Sisters of Battle, the true version, technically is also in Pantheon of Hellenes, but you do fight a version of it as an optional thing in the Mantis Village. So technically, yeah, all three of those are optional fights.
Cool. Nice. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But since we were mentioning the Rog Ally, Joe, transition.
Speaking of Xbox, Xbox has revealed the release date of the Xbox branded Rog Ally, the Xbox Rog Ally, and the Xbox Rog Ally X as October 16th, 2025. Pricing has yet to be confirmed, but leaks indicate it will be priced at $549.99 and $899.99 respectively. Cog, I'm just gonna throw this right to Mr. Xbox himself here, yes. Lord Xbox,
who actually got to try this at SGF. He had he was able to go hands on. So
yeah, look, I mean, obviously the price point is very interesting to me. I actually thought the X version would be higher. I thought there would be absolutely no subsidies on this at all, and I was getting ready for $1,000 device to be brutally honest. Yeah, in the world of tariffs and the climate, the economic climate that is we are in right now. So here's the thing. As a person, first of all, let's be clear. This is an enthusiast niche device. In my opinion, this is not a mass market. This will not be competing with the Nintendo Switch. This is not that. This is a multi-storefront device for those who want to play PC, multiple storefront games on their handheld natively. Now, the key for me as a ROG Ally fan, one of my biggest issues with the Ally is the Windows 11 integration. Gamers do not want to interact with that. That's why the Steam Deck UI is so clean, in my opinion, because it's a strictly gaming UI. You get straight to it. You don't see all that stuff on the back end. Windows 11 gets in the way. You see a desktop. It's a mess. What impressed me about the Ally X when I went hands on is they were copying that format. It was literally get to the game, make it easy, and of course a more powerful device is E2 Extreme and all that other stuff. So look, this is a device for me. I was surprised that the $549, the ROG Ally basic one, I thought that was a decent price to come in. $899, I mean, it's still pretty damn pricey. And one thing I did tell Asus, I was like, man, for people who are a fan of these family devices, there's no kind of reward trade-in program or anything. Like this is brutal. I'm sorry, please go ahead, Rick.
What is, just to clarify, what is the price of the regular ROG Ally X? Not the Xbox one, the regular one.
Yeah,
is this higher? Is this higher or is it the same?
No, this is a little higher. This is a little higher.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like about $100 because it was like the $749 range. I remember when I got my ROG Ally. So look, you got that, but here's my thing. As a person, I think that for Xbox guys, the strength of the device is native Game Pass. One of my issues with the Steam Deck is like they were like, oh, you could stream and right, and then I'm only locked to the Steam mode. I can have Steam, I can have Epic, I can have the Xbox Game Pass app. That's the advantage of the device. The issue I have with this announcement though is if Xbox is going to say our whole initiative is play anywhere and everything is an Xbox, right? Then every game, especially your first party games, need to be play anywhere initiated. They need to have that feature, almost like the backward compatibility program. You can't have all these gaps. And that's my issue because there are still games, like for example, I'm a Wasteland 3 guy from NXile. That game is not play anywhere. NXile is an Xbox game studio. Why aren't these titles part of play anywhere? Right now, Shinobi, demo's out. I'm looking. Not a play anywhere title. It's a stadium. Why? See, we can't, if I'm Xbox, you can't have this vision and tell people this is an Xbox when you have all these gaps. And that's what I'm going to continue to pester them on that. But other than that,
it's like this is an Xbox, except for when we say
it's except for when we say that. And then what's not appealing is to tell a console guy the game that you have, you can't play that natively. It's just, but you can stream it. No one wants to. I can't stream it on a plane. See, that my use case is for how much I travel. The Ally is an amazing device. You know how many people I've seen stewardesses coming to me? What is that? Like that looks amazing. Like you're having the most fun. Everyone's on this 13-hour flight to Japan, and you're having the most fun. You're living your best life. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. So that's the advantage of it. It's just like, man, I really want them to iron that out in order for the vision, to be. And maybe it's a situation, unfortunately, Alex, where they are saving that feature for their dedicated native device, which allegedly has been delayed because
Yeah.
of Steam OS's advances, and they probably feel like they're a step behind before they put out
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
own. That's my
So,
assessment.
Cog, I want to ask you about
Mhm.
the base version of this
Mhm.
device, though, because I mean, it's a big price difference. I mean, not quite twice as much, but it's like two-thirds more
Yeah, yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
Is the base version worth it, in your opinion? Did you play that one at all, or did you only get to play the X when you were trying it out?
I only played the X, so I can't speak to the, the base. Obviously it's, from my understanding, there's slightly more battery life. There's
Mhm.
slightly, I think it was from 512 gig, as far as hard drive space to, I mean, instead of from 1 terabyte to 512 for the base, and then I believe it's not the Z2 Extreme, it's the Z2. So there are some trade-offs. From my
Yeah.
understanding, it's still comparative and a little bit more powerful than Steam Deck, right? So again,
Mhm.
it comes down to your use case. If you're a person that all you care about is the Steam and the Steam OS and nothing else, then the Steam Deck is the device for you. It's just a
Okay.
cleaner device. But if you're a person who does play Xbox games, who wants to play multiple storefronts, who wants the most fidelity out of your games on the go, and that to me is about how the games play, in my opinion, then yeah,
Mhm.
it's worth the investment if you're that gamer type, kind of thing. I feel that it's for you, especially in your use case, and the fact that you could again put it, connect it to a TV, you can connect it to do all these different things to it. And I will say, if I remember when I saw the ergonomics at first, I thought it looked goofy,
Yeah.
but holding it is extremely comfortable. I
Yeah.
have to give it that.
I remember that
Good.
because I was sitting at the table with you in Paris, like when we were having lunch. You guys had just tried the thing, and you were kind of
Yes.
like telling like how ergonomically was feeling. The snappier like UI that didn't have the Windows OS
Yes,
like
thank God, the
like
Windows.
like complete like delay that happens. That sometimes it works well, the other times it doesn't work for absolutely no reason. So.
Mhm.
And real quick, have you said what's the difference between just the Rog Ally normal and the X? Is it just like a power or?
Power a little bit, but X is a little bit more power on the
Uh-huh.
battery front.
Okay.
Hard drive space, you go from a 1 terabyte SSD, a
Mm-hmm.
512 gig to a 1 terabyte SSD,
Mm-hmm.
and the chip. There is a variation with the chip, and I believe, and memory. There
Mm-hmm.
is slight differences with it. So
Yeah. Okay.
on each major storefront.
Yeah, because I wonder how appealing the 549 version will be because it's like at least within reason of like the prices of where
Right.
things are, especially after the thing that became official today, which will be like our next segue. But
Yes.
I'm really excited to hear, like, especially for the enthusiasts that get to try it, and as we also gear up for the official version that one would think it's gonna like be the full native thing of the portable Xbox. That is what I always thought DS should have been, the portable Xbox, kind of like that idea, like of a
Yeah.
handheld.
Yeah.
There's next headline, Joe. Since we're transitioning with prices.
Yeah, next headline. The PS5 suite of consoles will see its first increase in price in the US starting today, the day of recording, with the whole collection receiving $50 increases. PlayStation 5 will go from 499.99 to 549.99. PS5 Digital goes from 499 to 499 from 449.99, and PS5 Pro goes up to a whopping $749.99 from its already extreme $700 price point.
So I would say for one, Ryan McCaffrey gets to save himself from
Oh,
eating
bro.
from eating.
I think he was starting to sweat since it wasn't
Yeah.
happening for a
He was
while.
under pressure, man. They were tagging me. They were like, "God,
Yeah.
when is he eating those notes?"
Yeah. So on that and other, we knew this was happening. They
Yeah, it had
basically
to happen.
telegraphed it. They did take advantage of their days of play to be like, hey, we're gonna put it as cheap. If you really need this thing, get it now. It's never gonna get as cheap. Many people are saying if you didn't get it back then thinking that this was not gonna happen, too bad. Cog, you bought a Pro recently because I think you did a trade-in that's over there. You're waiting
I'm so
on the
happy right
Yote, right?
I am so happy right. Oh yeah, wait for your tag. I got my
Yes, and Joe, me, and Rick got ours at launch too. So it was like
Yep.
we knew all of this could happen. So I was like, I don't feel as too much of a sucker now that we got that, especially as we wait for GTA 6, which we know as of this
I
moment.
mean, we talked about it. I think we
Yeah.
discussed it at the time. I think we said we're gonna get it because there's no way the price is gonna go down. You know, I think it went down a couple bucks on its sale during the days of play, even. But
Yeah, 50
I think,
bucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
but even then, I mean, you know, that would have been so many games that we would have gotten to play at a worse quality for the last 6 months or whatever. It was worth.
Yeah, and
the
there was
$50.
and there was precedent that the PS4 Pro never went down in price. So it was like
Yes.
that was like a cheaper hardware. So it's like there's no way they're gonna be able to make cheaper the one that's even more powerful than the PS4 Pro was. So sucks.
It's a sad state of affairs when older hardware is more expensive.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I am looking at, I guess not Nintendo here, as they haven't released anything to change yet. But make no mistake, in the future they will be part of this.
Yes.
But I'm looking squarely at Mr. Blue and Mr. Green,
Yes.
saying,
Well,
shame on you guys. Shame.
for putting the price on the consumer when you can easily like eat subsidy. You can keep
Two of the
subsidizing.
largest companies on earth. I'm pretty sure they could eat.
Yeah,
What a
and we don't
timeline.
and we don't have to we don't have to get into the politics of it all about tariffs and like that's like for the economists to like really debate what's happening. But I see it more as a way of like I feel like these companies make enough money out of these things that I see more the greed side of like them taking advantage of the situation to skyrocket these things. And even then I noticed it because like Sony didn't price match the Xbox. The Xbox is still more expensive. Like even after like the price, the only thing that's more expensive now is the Pro, which makes sense. It's the Pro,
Right, it's the Pro.
So because before it was like insane, the 2 terabyte.
And even
series.
it is still cheaper than the 2 terabyte.
To the 2 terabyte Series X.
Yes.
Isn't that $850 now? Isn't it
It's
$849?
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know what they were thinking there.
Yeah, so-
What the hell is Xbox doing with that one?
Yeah,
Like,
Xbox-
I mean,
Like,
honestly,
I don't know why you wouldn't just buy a Series X and then buy the. Obviously, you still can put that in later, but you can get that hard space.
It really just comes down to we know that Xbox doesn't care about the hardware business as much as they used to anymore. I mean, in the Xbox perspective, from the economic side of things, they want to make the money on the console because they're all, like in the world that
Out
we
of
live
legacy.
in, that extra $100 that they're gonna make is not gonna deter people who are gonna buy Xboxes from buying Xboxes, and it will get them money, and you know it'll get the cost covered for them. Like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, Xbox confuses me all the time because it's like, are you in or are you out? Because like Rog Ally, like, at least them doing it's like a half step of like they're still kind of in, but they're letting someone else do the work. They're still saying that they want to kind of be in, but the prices they currently are clearly they're not subsidizing anything, so they're just kind of like straight up charging the prices people were insinuating back in 2020 when we were hearing the rumors of pricing and all of that it was going to be really expensive based on what they had. So it's like it's just confusing. It really sucks because it's like never remembering old generations. Like you remember when we ever got a $99 PS2?
Yo,
That was, like,
that's where we from.
we
It
coming
got
from
cheaper.
that.
It got streamlined. The production costs went down. You know, you made no
technological advances.
We'll never get a Kevin Butler advertisement again either.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember
Yes.
that?
Oh, yeah.
I do want to, before we move on, I just want to say, I don't know how much you guys saw the Moore's Law is Dead leaks about the pricing and everything. Colin had Tom from Moore's Law is Dead on Sacred Symbols Plus a couple weeks ago. I am curious how true any of those pricing leaks are, because Tom's argument was that the PS6 is going to be like $500, but I don't know if that accounts for the tariffs and the additional price inclusions in there, because it wouldn't surprise me if that was the price beforehand when this was all going, when they were planning all this stuff out, but then they jack it up an extra $100, even if it doesn't really warrant it for the power, just to accommodate the tariffs and the costs of bringing them into the country.
Unfortunately, we know that the next generation is being targeted around the time where the next presidential election may be. So that may
the
still be like a
rumors
counter,
from
so-
Tom, the rumors from Tom in that podcast and from his reporting was that it's 27, not 28. So
So
that would be right in the middle of this current
Current
situation. So
I
don't know, we'll see.
I say get used to the high prices. Like it's clear that's where we are with hardware now at this point. And
that's,
at least
I mean, that's where we are with everything. That's freaking.
And with
eggs.
it is
like $6.
Yeah, it is no surprise that now both Microsoft and PlayStation are talking about MAUs now.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's a coincidence that now they're saying that that's what they're focusing on more, because I think that's their way to try to sidestep the issue that they know that hardware sales are going to take a hit because of high prices. That people have more important things to pay.
I think Sony's latest financials said like actually differentiated between like pre-tariffs and post-tariffs. Like they had a split in their report where they're like, this is what it was beforehand, and then they're going to be like, and this is what's happening afterwards. Like they're exactly cutting into that.
When one isn't selling games and the other one isn't making games to sell.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to make the numbers up somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
the
a perfect marriage.
Yeah, perfect marriage for the two at this
The perfect
point.
marriage for the two. They
Yes.
both do what the other one is not doing.
Yeah, but speaking of someone that at least is making games and maybe like releasing them soon, next headline, Joe.
Yeah,
go.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has been rated by the ESRB, indicating that the game, originally announced for Switch 1 slightly after the console's release, is finally coming out slightly after the release of the console's successor, Switch 2.
Yeah, Joe's not kidding there. Like the Metroid Prime 4 was announced the E3 2 months after the Switch 1 was released. So it's like,
Yep.
it's been in development for that long. God, we started in
And
development.
it's going to be worth every minute of the wait.
Oh, yes, based on
Calling
like
it
how it's
now.
looking, yes.
Game looks awesome.
Yeah,
That looks
ESRB. Yeah,
amazing.
every time that I see an ESRB rating, it's like, yep, this is 1 or 2 months, like coming soon. Like the Kirby thing that I just took the headline on that they did the Kirby Air Rider, like Air Riders Direct. Them already putting a release date on that. I think it was November, if I remember. It was like,
Yes.
yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, if they're already dating Kirby and Metroid, it's like, where's Metroid gonna be
It's going
slotted
to be
in?
early October, I'm betting.
Yeah, so
early to mid.
Yeah, so it's like now it's starting getting more of an idea, but man, these months are getting too crowded. God damn it.
Well,
Just-
not getting
There's so much.
They've
There's
gotten
so many
there.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
They've
I think we probably jumped the shark on how crowded September. Like all this, we gotta release before
Yeah.
GTA. Like
Yeah, everybody's free GTA fears.
You guys enjoy your Metroid Prime 4. You have fun. I'll just be waiting
Joe,
for
you
my
have to
Pokemon
play.
ZA.
He has
never
bad
played a
taste,
Metroid
Cog.
Prime.
I don't know what
You're not enjoying it. That's what you playing in October. What you
Uh-huh.
doing?
Yotei is in October.
Yo time, okay. Yeah.
We've got the Outer Worlds 2 in
Outer Worlds 2.
October.
Right. Oh yeah, you busy.
Yeah, there's something else that was just
Are
announced.
you doing
that I
Ninja
can't think
Gaiden?
of.
Oh, that's right. You're not doing Ninja Gaiden.
No, not Ninja
Yeah.
Gaiden.
So you doing Yotai? You doing Outer World? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm doing
I mean,
the,
those are two
Tim Schafer
huge.
games.
Like,
Those are
like
huge
that's-
games. Those are huge
Yeah,
games.
I mean, Yotei. I'm a platinumer for Sony's games usually, so that's gonna take
Oh,
a while
yeah,
on that one.
I
I'm
may
sure I'm
review
expecting,
Yote
but-
for SG, but that would be kind of like a post-release review. That'll be like my focus. But Joe's gonna be doing Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
So
potentially, yeah, I might do Outer Worlds, but also there's the Digimon Story Time Stranger looks kind of good. I haven't played that, and that's also the month the Pokemon ZA is in.
yeah,
so for me, I've got.
so Cog, like he will play a Digimon game, but won't play Metro.
I've never
No
played the other
affinity for the
Digimon
franchise.
games, so
Yeah.
that's like up in the air. But the big three are the Pokemon. It's the Pokemon, Yotei, and Outer Worlds. I just you would know this, Cog, but a couple of weeks ago I just went through the Outer Worlds DLC, the Murder on Eridanos,
That was
and
great.
and
Great.
the other one, the
Fantastic.
Pearl and Gorgon. Yeah, I hadn't done those yet. I owned them, but I didn't have the disc with me where I am right now, so I waited till I went home and played it there. They were quick, but.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. I don't have anything pro or con for Metroid Prime. It exists. I hope it's great for you guys. Really,
Just try it. Try a great game for Christ's sakes instead of like
He said,
wasting
"Try
time
a
on-
great game." you messy.
Yeah,
He is
next
having
title.
fun with Yotai, and
I will. I love
And
Tsushima.
Yote's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be great. Like
Tsushima.
Mr. Shima
Yeah,
was
we're making
great.
fun of Digimon, not you.
Yes, yeah, we're not making. Yeah, it's,
Tsushima was my number 2 game the year that it came out. Number 1 was remake. So
Final Fantasy VII.
that was it.
I got you, Papa.
next headline,
Thanks, Kyle.
Joe.
Appreciate
Remake
it.
was the year before.
Yeah, let's talk about the closer.
Oh, you. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, Rod Ferguson, famously known through the industry as the closer for his ability to kick games in the butt and get them out the door when they languish, has been
I came up with that
rehired.
game. By
Yes.
the way. People
You
just feel
did.
I don't tell you anything, but I'm
Yes.
the one that came up with the name. Everyone, I know everyone's running with, but it's cute.
You
I love
did.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I put it.
Has been rehired by 2K to head up not just BioShock 4, but the BioShock franchise with the next installment currently in development by Cloud Chamber, and he will be working on the in-development Netflix movie too. Cloud Chamber was subject to some news in the last weeks about a recent shakeup following some difficulties with the game's development. Amusingly, Ferguson also helped get the last BioShock entry out the door more than 10 years ago.
It's so funny. He's never escaping the closer allegations all the time. Like
Yeah.
he went to get the project from the Black. What was the name of the coalition before? Before it became the coalition, because they were working on something.
Black Isle? Was
I
it
think
Black
it was.
Isle?
I don't think it was Blackout Studio,
No,
but,
it
Yeah.
was
but it was Black something, because I remember they were gonna do an original game and then they acquired the IP for Gears of War, and he came in and was like, I'm gonna work on that, and got that thing out in like 2 years. Went to Blizzard after they were languishing for how long, and then he got Diablo 4 out. Obviously, he got Bioshock Infinite out the door after that was also languishing. It's like that man has a talent to bring the whip and be like, let's get the
Black Tusk. They were Black Tusk.
Black
sorry.
Tusk Studio,
Black Tusk
yeah.
Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the announcement of Black Tusk Studio at that infamous E3 2013 for Xbox. I'll never forget that. But yeah, it's like it's interesting that we know that we got the news that Bioshock passed like a test, or kind of like they
failed the test.
Yeah,
That's
they failed
what
the
happened.
test.
They failed.
It wasn't quite a fail. They were like, the game's good,
It
but
was
we
the
need it to be
story.
great. Yeah,
it
the
was
story.
the story. The gameplay was not the issue. The story
Yeah.
was the
Right.
problem.
That's what they had said. But the checkpoint that they were going through, the actual milestone was they did not pass the milestone because of the story was the
Right.
reasoning there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
bringing in Rod Ferguson, I mean, it really is funny. I know a lot of people have thoughts on BioShock Infinite versus the other BioShocks. I personally prefer Infinite because I really like Columbia more than Rapture. Cog, are you a BioShock fan? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do
Which
you
one's your
lean?
favorite though?
Yes.
Oh, now you're trying to get me to pick between kids.
Yeah.
But one kid is clearly a better kid than the other one. So just tell us which
Well,
one.
I think I know where you're leading, right?
Yeah, I like both for different reasons.
For different reasons, yeah.
Yes. So
Sure, I agree. Different reasons, yeah. And I'll admit, the story in BioShock 1 is the stronger of the stories. I just love the atmosphere of Columbia, that like it's so bright and open and the blue skies, and there's a lot of just cheeriness, and there's so much dreariness in games that you don't have enough cheeriness and openness, even if it's like veiled by like it's a veil of cheeriness underneath some really creepy
and then
stuff going
unfortunately
on.
you play
Yeah.
it and you realize how much worse than the other two it is. Yeah.
yes. But I am actually like, because we know that Colin over at Last Stand, like he was one of the first ones that broke like what this BioShock game was supposed to be, kind of like in an Antarctica like setting, but that was like years ago. I do
Yeah.
wonder if if that is still true, because this game has been like in development for God knows how long. So
I think 2019 is when they started it.
So that's why I'm glad that now that we know that Rod Ferguson is there. I think I expect this within a year and a half. I think he's just gonna go with them all into shape. Like
the story should theoretically be a pretty easy and quick turnaround. I mean, obviously you'll have to do probably new voice recordings and stuff, but the gameplay and all that's what's really going to take time to do. And
Yeah,
that
the hardest part
is done. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the hardest part of that is meshing the story with the gameplay.
Right,
Like
right.
the story is the setting, so if the setting changes, then the game, like you are operating within the confines of whatever gameplay is there. So you can only tweak the story so much. If if it's an Antarctic game, like the rumors indicate, they can't suddenly change it to be like in an Amazonian jungle.
Yeah.
Like they have to stick with the general setting because the art design is there, the level designs are all done.
Yeah.
Like the story has room to work, but not. It should be fast, but I don't know how much they can actually fix.
Yes,
That's
I know
that's the trick.
I know one thing, that when he arrived to finish BioShock Infinite, that game was more dynamic than it ended up being, because it was supposed to be more open because of the skyline gameplay and all that. And he kind of came in to kind of chop it up into what we got, to be like, let's make this workable. Let's make it slightly more linear. And that's how they were able to get in. At least the idea was still there, but it wasn't what they pitched. If you see the original 2010, 2011 trailer of Infinite, that looked way more ambitious than what it ended up being. So that's kind of what I wonder, unless they're giving him the carte blanche to be like, reboot this entire thing, which I doubt, because it's been in development for so long. I think maybe he's going to try to also be like, what do we have here? What can we chop in and get it out? And also because I don't know how much 2K wants to overlap this BioShock game with Judas, which I know is like, Ken Levine has said he's not a BioShock game, but just kind of like that association of like, we have a BioShock game, and now we have the game from the creator of BioShock, like close to each other. I don't know how that's working and how they're trying to release stuff, but having Rod Ferguson, at least we know now that thing's gonna release now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think that's all we have on that topic there. So let's bring it into our last topic for the show, which is Gamescom's annual Opening Night Live. Took place on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. And here's everything in the show. Now we'll talk slightly more about certain things, and we're just going to we like to mention everything just so that it's on the record here.
Yeah.
So in the pre-show, they had a game called Outlaws plus Handful of Missions Remaster, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. You interested in that one, Cogs? That one look good to you? Or you just
nostalgia purposes. That's all. I don't know if the game gonna be actually good, but I just love seeing those sprites on the screen from my childhood.
Oh yes.
Yeah. The subtitle of that game is Dragon Pearl of Destruction. That's an interesting title. And then Bubsy 4D.
A game that's not gonna be good.
Bubsy 1 and 2 were good. So.
Bubsy 1 and 2, yeah.
But Bubsy 3D is legend. It has legend.
Yes, it was awful. Yeah,
legendary awfulness.
Yes. And then the main event.
Main event here, we had Call of Duty Black Ops 7. they showed a lot of this game. We don't
Way
have to
too
talk
much.
much about, but there was so much shown of this game. I'm like, my goodness, we
Mhm.
get it, we get it. Just Mariano's in it. We don't care anything else. It's all that matters. You got My Limit to Miglia.
Yeah. Keep going.
There's some editorializing going on here.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I don't think anyone else here wants to talk about Black Ops more than that. But
Yeah, I don't have much
the
to
outer,
say, but just just run
Yeah.
through the games.
yeah,
So
the
you
Outer
can-
Worlds 2. I'm really excited for the Outer Worlds 2. I loved Avowed this year. I gave Avowed an 8.5. I thought that was a great game. It was so refreshing to have deep RPG mechanics compared to what I'd just done in Dragon Age: The Veilguard. As much as a Dragon Age fan I am, I really liked Avowed. I know some people weren't so hot on it because it was very still life play like in its world, but I still thought that was really great. Rick, did you play Avowed? I don't actually know. I know
Yeah,
Cog,
He
you liked
doesn't
it
like.
a
He
lot.
doesn't like about. He's like me.
I
Like
don't like it at all.
I liked it
Okay.
fine. I don't know. Rick likes it less than me. It's just I have struggled with WRPGs, but that's a conversation for later. Keep going.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
more
we gotta
to
get
read.
moving
Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
it's a lot of games
Yeah.
before we can circle back. Go.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4, Daemon X Machina, Titan Scion, Voidbreaker, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Order of Giants DLC, Valor Mortis, Sword of Legends, Silent Hill F, Hollow Knight Silksong, Lords of the Fallen 2, Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War 4, Monster Hunter Wilds Cross Final Fantasy 14 crossover, Onimusha Way of the Sword, Ark Knights Enfield, Europa Universalis 5, World of Warcraft Midnight, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, Death by Scrolling, Zero Parades, NTE Neverness to Everness, Unbeatable, Honor of Kings World, Delta Force, Cinder City, Time Takers, Chronos the New Dawn, Inzoi Island Getaway, Fate Trigger, The Seven Deadly Sins Origin, Moonlighter 2 The Endless Vault, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Road Kings, PVKK.
That game looks awesome. I want to be clear. That
Yes.
game looks that game was so fun.
Yeah, we can circle back to that.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's a Planetin
Don't even try.
Vertendung
Don't even
try. Don't even-
Kommandant. It's German.
Oh wow,
It's a German name.
impressive.
Yes,
Impressive.
it is
It's
German,
it's
yes.
German.
yes.
The Darkest Files, Cult of the Lamb, Woolhaven DLC, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 Legacy of the Forge DLC, Enshrouded Wake of the Water update, Age of Empires 4 Anniversary Edition and their new expansion pack with that one, La Divina Commedia, Routine, Sekiro No Defeat, which is an anime, Project Spectrum, World of Tanks, Heat, Ghost of Yote, Resident Evil, Requiem, and Black Myth, Zhongqi.
John Kui, that's how you pronounce it. That
That is how it's pronounced.
That was excellent. That was excellent.
Cool. Yes.
Well, my girlfriend's Chinese. I
Yeah,
have a little
yeah.
bit of
No,
that
that's-
boy,
that's
that
why-
boy was on it. I was like,
yeah, that's why I would
that-
trust.
yeah, yeah.
I would trust Joe on a Chinese pronunciation because he has a girlfriend that's Chinese.
phonetics was fire.
Yeah,
It was
so-
funny because I texted her. I was like, "Babe, do you know anything about Zhongqi?" And she was like, "What?" And then I found the Mandarin written version of it, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah."
Yeah.
like
So
just
Cog, as
seeing
the-
it in English wasn't enough for her. She had to see it in the
She had
Chinese.
to see it in
characters.
Chinese. Oh,
Yes.
that's dope. That's dope.
So as a resident guest, what do you think of the Gamescom showcase? It's still a lot of games, but
Oh,
I have some
God.
thoughts about it.
Oh my god, a lot. I mean, look, it was a lot of games. I feel you can't. I personally couldn't walk away and say like it was a terrible show. I thought there was enough for everyone there. So I will say the surprises for me were actually, man, I gotta apologize to Maddie. I was so slanderous to these Lego games. I was so slanderous. I'm like, I'm too old for those games, Maddie. Why you keep bringing these games up? He's like, it's Batman, bro. And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, that looks like the Rocksteady Arkham series style fighting that I've been wanting.
He has been like pushing this hard too on his channel since this was shown.
Bro, I've
Yes.
had to hear it Duke after Duke after Duke, and I've been slandering this game. And I had to bend the knee and say, all right, man, I ain't gonna lie, that game looks amazing.
Yeah.
I will be there on the playground with you on
Yeah.
this one. So yeah, that one right there. You know, I'm just happy to see Kingdom Come. I thought that there was a lot in there. I feel I had saw Resident Evil Requiem and Onimusha behind closed doors before, and I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. Yeah, same thing, right, Alex? Right?
Yeah, we
Like,
were at that BTS.
we were together. I
like,
forget. Yeah, bro. I feel they're not doing a good job of showcasing these games, because what we've seen looks 1,000 times. Not that this stuff looks bad that they're showing on publicly these new stuff, but I felt there was better trailers of it. Let me try to say What else? We got that.
I
Please.
I have a question for you specifically.
Yes, please.
When he was reading this, I saw you react to Chronos: The New Dawn.
Yeah.
Have you gone hands on with this? And if
I have
so,
not.
talk to me.
I have not yet. I have not yet. That was what
okay.
I have not. But everything I see up from it,
It looks good.
It looks
man,
really
it looks
good.
good.
Yeah.
So I'm getting excited. To me, this is like the ultimate Bloober redemption arc, and I'm kind of pulling for them since the medium.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then, bro, I was there for the medium. I was interviewing these guys, like, bro, and I got it. I was like, oh.
Yes.
You know, that kind of thing. But then since then, obviously, Silent Hill, they've come a long way. So, like, salute to them. Surprisingly, Indiana Jones in the Great Circle, man. I know it's DLC, but I love that game from Machine Games. I feel there's so much more to tell. I want to get into that DLC. And I think they're doing Rome, so I'm excited about that.
I'm so excited
It's on
about
my
the
fantasy
Rome
team. I hope it's good. It's on my fantasy
I'm
team.
so
I need the
excited for
points.
the Rome setting because
The
they
Rome
did,
setting.
because just the Vatican setting at the beginning is just so well realized that I'm like, oh, okay, going back there and going out to Rome and that area is like super cool. And I'm a big Assassin's Creed Brotherhood fan too, remembering that era. So I'm all in for that. But I actually agree with you, Kobe, what you're saying with that. We've seen such cool stuff about Requiem and Onimusha, like in the demos that we got to see that they still haven't shown people.
They haven't shown that.
That I'm
when we
like,
saw, I'm like, what is wrong with you, Kaka? Like, you guys are not doing a job of marketing this game. Don't get me wrong. It was a mother and daughter time during the thing on that they showed.
That was such a weird thing to show.
It was weird. Yeah, I'm like, bro,
I agree.
Anyway, so you know where I'm at.
It's Resident Evil though, like it doesn't really need the market. Like Onimusha probably does need the marketing, but Resident Evil doesn't really need the marketing push. It's gonna sell 7 million copies just by virtue of being Resident Evil.
It does, but I get what you're saying. It's just the fact that what me and Cog saw at SGF, the behind the
mind blowing,
maybe more hype, I guess.
Yeah, so it's like that's kind of what sold me on how they're approaching like the next evolution of this style of Resident Evil. And like seeing it at that theater, like dark theater, like and seeing the actual gameplay being played is like, and then even the Onimusha demo, I feel like at the very least the previews have done good right now, at least explaining some of the things that we got to see. Because when we got to see that game, it's like thankfully not a Souls-like. It's keeping a lot. It's like it's an action game that's keeping some of Onimusha's like specialness that's not quite Devil May Cry, but it's like there's like a tempo and a fun to it that it's. You only get it once you see like a full uncut demo, and I feel like that those betas have to be shown at this point because especially with Onimusha, they still are not dating it. I'm like, again, we're seeing it again, and you're still putting a release.
Still a date on it, it's so weird.
Capcom's got a wild 2026. They got that, they got Pragmata, and they got Resident Evil.
And Pragmata was so good.
Was so good. That's another one that we saw.
Pragmata looks cool. It does.
Thankfully, they did actually release footage. I don't know if it's what you guys saw, but they released footage of people playing Pragmata this time. It's like, why did you not release that before? Because when you're at home, like me, I'm like, I still don't know how this game plays.
Oh, man, it's so unique.
I can read these
it looks cool. It really does.
And it means nothing if I'm not seeing it in action. And I finally did see it in action. I'm like, okay, why did this not get released before? What is Capcom doing?
Yeah, so Europa Universalis 5, Cog, you in? You gonna play? You joining me for the EU5 game? Come on.
I don't know, man.
You like CK3 though, right? You like Crusader Kings 3? Same studio?
I do.
Same studio?
It's the same studio. There's so many games, bro.
I know.
So many games.
The beauty of their games, Cog, in my opinion, is they are very much pick up and play games. You can, like, I have saves from Crusader Kings 3. I've got like 400 hours in Crusader Kings 3.
Good. That game was
I've got like 800 in Crusader Kings 2. I have played these games a lot. So they're very pick up and play. Like I will start a game. I started a save that I just finished like 2 or 3 months ago in 2023. Like I just brought it all the way through and I just played throughout those years, and you don't get to do all the content and everything because eventually they'll break your save, so you have to play the old patches.
That's a patch,
But even still, like they are very much pick up and play games where you can stop them and just when you've got some time, you just want to jump in and progress a decade or two in the world, and they're really fun. Europa is way different than Crusader Kings, by the way, though. Europa is actually about nation states, whereas Crusader Kings, as you know, is about individual characters. Yeah, so I prefer Crusader Kings, but I'm way in for Europa 5 just because it's such a great series. Even 4 is really fun. I won't say anything more beyond this, but I did a save in my very first Crusader Kings full playthrough save. You actually had an importer that you could import your save from Crusader Kings into Europa Universalis 4. So I played as one family from 1066 until like 1850 when the game when Europa ended. I just brought them across.
That's sick.
It was great.
I love that they have features like that. That
Yes.
takes me back to the Mass Effect days.
Yeah, I'm very curious about La Divina Commedia because that's the book for Dante's Inferno, like the actual Dante Alighieri thing. And obviously, we know that the game Dante's Inferno was made by Visceral back in the 360 and PS3 days. And I'm curious how they're gonna do this game. If it's a Souls-like, if it's gonna be like actually just what kind of game it is. It was Rick, I think, was the one in our chat that immediately recognized. Was like Dante's Inferno because
I can't take too much credit. It started by saying Dante Alighieri's.
exactly. So it's like
however it phrased to begin with.
Yeah, but then as soon as you see the characters, like
Yeah.
he's just it's very obvious with like the visual inspiration for where they're taking it from.
Yeah.
So I'm really like curious about that.
I could not read the font to save my life, though. I had no idea what the font, what that title was in that font. I was like,
Yes.
what? It was just,
And,
it could have been, Braille. It looked like nothing to me.
I would feel different also about the Black Myth game had I
Talk
not
to me.
get soul crushingly destroyed beating Black Myth Wukong late last year. That I feel probably soured me on Souls likes for like a good 1 or 2 years.
I need a break.
Yeah, so when I heard, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, they're doing another one. I like the idea of that this god that's kind of like possessing demon. It's kind of like hunting demons or gods or something like that. Or you can brush I'm gonna brush up on the mythology eventually, but I know that
Journey
at
to the
least,
West.
yes, I like that idea because maybe that's gonna add maybe something interesting to like the gameplay. But if it's another Souls like, I'm like, no, I pissed out on Souls likes right now. Like, every time there's someone like I'm like the Onimusha thing, they've been like, not a Souls like, it's an action game. Like I'm in that
Alex's
more right
soul
now.
is broken.
No, I'm literally broken. and Lord, we're in a side that's so Souls pro, they're pro Souls, so that gets more tiring too. So,
Oh man.
yeah.
But Rick, talk about PVKK.
No. I had two things on here that I want to talk about.
Let's go.
Actually, the other one is right before it, and I'll just say this very briefly. Road Kings. I just want to say, as the resident
Truck driving
interactive truck driving simulating fanboy, I'm sold.
Okay.
There's not much else to say because I really don't show much. But I'm all about SnowRunner, man. I put so many hours in that game.
Nice.
It's pretty good, and I love Roadcraft. So them announcing what looks to be kind of a competitor to like
to that,
Simulator, except with maybe more like dealing with environments stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm in. Now specifically, I wanted to talk about PVKK a little bit. Do any of you guys actually even know what this is?
I always saw it.
not
Kind of just briefly saw it. So
I only discovered what it was. I think it was last year actually at ONL. It has a hilariously ridiculous name, but the longest story short here is this is basically I forget the name of it. The Space Invaders. It's basically Space Invaders, except you are shooting one thing. You are shooting a giant like mounted, or like a land defense cannon, right? The idea of this, however, is that it is so comically convoluted how you go about shooting this that's the whole point. Because you only shoot one shell to destroy everything, but you will have to like go through and like turn all these gears,
knobs and gears. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
And like it's a really cool idea. So I'm actually pretty wild on that, or pretty interested in that. It looks pretty wild. I just want to say that.
Wow.
And then which other one? Let me see.
Vampire. I don't know if you guys have
yeah.
anything to say on Vampire, but I've never played the original Bloodlines, but I know it's like a beloved broken game that
Yes.
This is a long in development sequel. I'm super curious about how the Chinese Room does with it.
Oh,
I
Chinese
did
Room.
see a Chinese Room. Yep.
Oh, my people's from Still Wakes the Deep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
This game's been cooking for a while. The fact they finally got it released, it was like big.
restarts. Yeah, it had some restarts and development trouble, but I saw some interesting comments on it that it actually may be more actiony than the original was, which may be good, may not be good. But I don't know how much you know about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines Cog, but it is a hardcore PC RPG. Like it is very RPG heavy for people with a lot of choices and consequences and things.
Very rules based. Very heavy based.
I always get confused with. I think there's a PvP game that's also Vampire something. So I always kind of confuse.
There's a ton of them. There's Vampire
Yeah,
everything. They're huge. The Vampire the Masquerade stuff is all over the place. White Wolf is very much Games Workshop-y with their license. Well, they'll just give it to anybody to make anything they want with it. So I'm curious about how this ends up being. I hope it's good because I've been excited for it. I like vampires as a thing. I don't like zombies, but I like vampires. I don't know them, but yeah, they're just interesting.
Actually, I'll side with Joe on the zombies. Vampires are better.
Zombies
Vampires
are like
cooler.
Oh yeah,
yeah, vampires
for sure.
are cooler.
So I'm psyched to see this one. I hope it's good. I want to say Inzoi Island Getaway, ridiculous that has DLC. That game was fine, but was so broken at launch. They should be fixing that game instead of DLC releasing for
Here
it.
it is, Lord. Like it's fine, but it's broken.
Yeah. I do have one small thing I want to say. It's not a news article, but so we didn't mention it here, but they also did have the Future Game Show. If you don't watch these, I suggest you start watching these because they are the best game shows every single show.
Yeah, they're shockingly, they're shocking.
As I described, I will say they do cap it maybe like at their very best shows, they're like an 8.5 out of 10. But at their very worst, they're like a 7 out of 10. They are always good shows. They always have a lot of good games, and actually they do get big voice actors to do the hosting, and the writing is actually pretty good. Like it's actually listenable. It's not like when you listen to something that just makes your ears turn hearing it. They actually have good jokes. And like for example, this one was hosted by David Hayter, who obviously saw
the legend.
And then I don't remember her name, but the lady who voiced Lady Demetress in
oh yes.
So and the previous one was Laura Bailey and Nolan North
and Matt Mercer, North, and there was one with Matt Mercer and Jennifer English.
So that was the last one. You're right, that was the last one. But they do genuinely put a lot of effort in this, and they get a very really solid lineup every time. If you don't watch these, you need to start because they are very, very good.
The Future Games show that happened in SGF happened while we were at IO Interactive, Cog.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm mad that I missed it because we went to that thing.
We made a tactical choice.
Tactical
may have been tactical error.
Only wine, no food, and we were starving in the middle of Hollywood
to go check out Mind's Eye.
Yeah. I think for me, the last thing on this list of games that I want to talk, and you guys may want to say something on Silent Hill, I'm not sure, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Legacy of the Forge DLC, that's really cool. I actually really like the forging stuff in this game.
Hell yeah.
I don't think that they used it enough. Yeah,
I love that.
So underused because you could only craft weapons. You couldn't really craft armor or anything.
Yes.
Like it was. I just felt they had so many more things they could have delved into that system to really make it like expansive, and that would have been really fun because I thought that the forging was really exciting as a baseline thing to do. So having a whole DLC around it, that's really cool. I beat the whole game, the base game. I didn't touch the DLC yet. I wait till all the DLC's out. I'm a whole DLC guy just so it's done.
Okay.
Yeah. But I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I played that game at launch. So
I have made the decision to wait for KCD 2 for my holiday game because that one kind of passed me by, but it's the one game since everyone loves it.
You should have the third DLC by then too.
Exactly. So by then it's gonna be like
we don't know what it is. We don't know what the third or the fourth are gonna be yet. So
but I'm kind of like closer to the Joe thing that if I didn't catch it like in the initial wave, I would sometimes wait for everything and then kind of jump in. So
but Silent Hill, do you guys have anything to add on Silent Hill? I don't.
Nothing that we haven't said already.
Yeah, there wasn't much other than confirming that Susie Young, the voice of Yuffie, is like the main character in the English VO. But it's
I guess if I have something to say, it's that I'll be playing it in Japanese. I do like her as a voice actress, but it did not sound right in this at all.
And
I love her as Yuffie, though. I love Yuffie. Yuffie's my girl. I love Yuffie so much in Rebirth. Oh my goodness.
Of course she is. Of course she is.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
She's the only one that is under a certain age.
Behave. Y'all messy.
Got him. And with that, I think we have nothing else to say about ONL. Basically, I think it's like it was one of these shows.
It was fun. It was a Geoff show. It was Geoff doing his Geoff thing.
Jeff doing Jeff stuff.
Yes,
with a lot of games.
Yeah, definitely go watch a Future Games show, like as Rick said, because like that one's slowly getting more and more traction, and they're doing a good enough job there.
It is it's by far the best like platform agnostic show there is now.
Yeah, and maybe Sony's September State of Play will be not terrible for once. It'd be nice.
I'm not holding my breath.
Do you forget that the State of Play from June was great? So,
their State of Plays have always been, I don't know. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that.
No, it's like because you have such like myopic taste that you can never find anything to say.
They're very particular taste.
I actually genuinely don't remember it.
I don't remember it really.
That's the one that had the one that ended with Tokon, but had a lot of the Japanese, like,
Oh yeah,
Free and all of that.
that one was good actually. That was
Yes.
much
It
better
was
than
okay.
I like it.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
on the better end of their shows lately. But yeah, there's the rumors that the state of play
the
will be in
Japanese
September.
focus of that one was great, so they better go back to that.
Yeah, I'm not a fighting game guy, so Tokon doesn't.
Oh, so
really
it didn't
do
hit for you.
much.
Yeah, that
yeah,
for you.
Yes,
Tokon
but-
doesn't,
that
doesn't
hit for
hit
me.
that way.
I love fighting, so fighting games
Yeah,
are
I
like,
was always just so. It was one of those things, Cog, where I'm so bad at them that it just
It's
lost
just like,
all
yeah.
of its appeal.
I got
As
you.
much as I
got you.
want to enjoy them, it's just like I'm
I
terrible.
would recommend you that take the losses in stride and try to at least get into the vibe of being at the fighting game community and kind of see, like, let that energy feel you, and that kind of pushes you trying to
Yeah.
play those. So at least try to attempt that, because it's like, I like being interacting with the FGC community. It's such a passionate.
Yeah, they're fun. They're so passionate. I love them.
But that'll do for our regular topics here. We'll just close out with the upcoming games of the next week.
I'm gonna read
we'll say
those.
our sign off.
Yeah, I'm gonna read those and
Go for it.
the end of the console wars. Gears of
It's
War
over.
Reloaded. Yeah, it's over. Gears of War
That's it.
Reloaded.
We're brothers now.
Yeah, coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 26th. And Helldivers 2 over at the Xbox Series X and S also releasing that same day. And there's the ODST crossover that they confirmed. They got me back. So line, hook, and sinker with that thing. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar comes to Switch 2, Switch, and PC on August 27th. Davy X Jones Early Access comes to PC on August 28th. Karate Survivor comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch on August 28th. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the Switch 2 version, comes to basically on August 28th.
And that's got the bonus content, the extra DLC stuff.
Yes. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, my most anticipated game of this month, comes to PS5, Series X, and PC on August 28th. Robots at Midnight comes to PlayStation 5 on August 28th. Super Robot Wars Y comes to PS5, PC, and Switch on August 28th. Lost Soul Aside comes to PS5 and PC on August 29th. And Shinobi Art of Vengeance comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on August 29th. And it was supposed to come out tomorrow, but they delayed it by a week. But they can take. Yes. So I'm all about that Delta, that Lost Soul Aside. I'm hoping is good, and Shinobi. Those are like the things for next week. So, and excited for the Xbox people to play Helldivers 2 and getting a 360 era shooter again, like in that style.
Oh yeah,
But they got me with that battle pass where the ODST looks. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah,
I mean, day one.
Yes,
that'll do for the show this week, Alex.
Yes,
let's do this thing.
Yep, time to walk us out. So, Lord Cognito, as our resident guest, where can people find you? Plug whatever you need to plug.
Before I do that, first of all, thank you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun. Yeah. Salute to the Button X. Much love, man. Love all of you guys individually. A lot of fun. Long overdue. And I'm always glad to support, when I can. I know my schedule's crazy, but it's always fun
You're
to
welcome
talk
back anytime, Cog. Anytime.
Much love with people who appreciate games and have that passion for it. I just love y'all getting into y'all review battles. I thought it was hilarious.
That's every week. Listen to the show. That's
every week.
I love it. But yeah, for those who don't know, on socials, at Lord Cognito, the Twitters, the Blue Skies, or wherever you can find me. Obviously, Iron Lord's podcast every Sunday is the Lord's Day, IOP, 1 p.m. Eastern. Check us out there. And then, of course, for those who want Xbox specific centric content, find me on Defining Duke, Last Stand Media with my bro, Mr. Matty Plays, man. Go check us out, man. And it's been a lot of fun. We got a lot of content coming up. Please check me out next week. Something really special, something really fun. I got a lot of things lined up for next week, and then man,
extra Cognito.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be extra. It's got a lot of extra content, a lot of extra stuff going on. But I'm really excited, man. Really excited to talk to you about games and things I've been experiencing and stuff like that. And then obviously Tokyo Game Show and all that other stuff at the end of the year. So it's gonna be a big year.
Excited about that for ILP, like for us to go to Japan.
And then I can segue because, based on the rumors of what might be at Tokyo Game Show from Tokyo that was announced by a certain car dealership, that might be a big announcement there. So we're pretty pumped that if the rumors are true, that we could be there for that kind of announcement. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, that'll be
this
really
is great, Cog. Thank you so much. We got to get Maddie on sometime. We should try to get Maddie on.
Absolutely.
Let's try to reach out there. We got a Cog to serve us kind of like
the bridge.
It's at the bridge. We set it up.
Yes. We're trying to get Brad. He's
a busy man. A lot of people trust me. That man busy.
Yes. Rick, where can people find you and plug yourself with your other stuff?
Butch4969 on all the socials. Usually, I believe tomorrow, Fridays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, youtube.com/spreading the nerd. I believe we're having an episode tomorrow. I will be pimping this while I'm over there because this was great, and I did want to take a moment, Cog, to just say it was amazing finally getting the chance to talk shop with you, man. We've met but didn't have a chance to really talk much, so this was awesome to get a chance to hang out with you.
Yeah, that was so dope, man. I'm glad you pulled up.
If you it's a very small show, but man, if you ever want to be there, you are more than welcome anytime you want to.
Yes.
Much love, brothers, always.
Joe?
You can find me at Joseph_Law_Rusa on Twitter/X. My writings, Don Lionheart on Season Gaming. Check out my Mafia: The Old Country review from last week and my my Echoes of the End review that just came up. And again, Cog, thank you so much, brother. We really appreciate you coming on here. It really means a lot. It's been really great chatting with you and getting to talk games. And this was great. And I appreciate it.
Yes.
And that's it.
Much love, much love.
Just as it was so much fun meeting you at SGF, this was just as much fun as we were we're there at that event. I highly appreciate that you were here with us, and I'm looking forward to future collaborations whenever they may happen. And you can find me at _Joe on Twitter, at A on Blue Sky, at the Slayer Giant on Twitch as I'm continuing my streaming journey, and my written content over at seasongaming.com, where I have not written anything since my Death Stranding 2 retrospective, but I'm waiting now that we got release dates and all that. We just be starting getting more of that content going as we're figuring stuff out with the staff there, who's going to be reviewing what. So, and everyone that listened or watched, thank you so much. If you like what you watch or listen, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a review at your podcast service of your choice. We're always
check out the Iron Lords, check out Defining Duke.
And like everything that's been pinned here, go support go support your favorite content creators, because it's like that's where we're out there in the trenches now. Like it's a free
support long form, not short form.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, not the brain rot of the TikToks.
Yes.
But we'll see you here next week at same time, same bat channel, and
press X
to play.
Yes. Okay, I like that.
Yes.
Let's go.
Hasta la vista, baby. All right, and boom.